you know, I want to be in the car with the guy, you know, whether he's driving or not. And a lot of times they'd be like, yeah, go in the back with the manager's car. And I'm like, I can't do shit back here. So with X, it was cool. I had met him a couple times before. He was like, yeah, right, what else is cool? But he drives the same way he runs. It's like all gas, all the way, or all brake. So you're constantly like back and going forward. You can't say nothing because the bodyguards are used to it. They're like, whatever. I'm scared as shit. And we're going through LA. It's not highways. It's little streets. It's right on reds. It's crazy. I was so scared. After like half an hour, I was like, yo, this is not worth it. I'm gonna call my editor, I'm gonna get out of here, I'm gonna go ride with the manager. This is not worth it to catch, you know what I mean, like a fender in your thigh for rolling stones? I don't think so.
Listen up, bro. It's the legendary Kurtiss.
Mixed videos. That's original concept too. I've never seen anything like it.
Oh, well, that's what we hope. That's her nice.
Mixed video type joint. That's original concept.
Any different, hip-hop shades the crave, flavor to the grave, all the tracks that we play. Hip-hop shades the crave, flavor to the grave. Many different hip-hop shades the crave, flavor to the grave. Hey, yo, eyes on these, point blank out some copies. Fell from a Q to a jalopy. Big wheel, but ain't shit with a small bill. Me, I'm all real with balls of steel. I fuck with nice and skills and cheese on the wheels. Drop tapes and shop deals. Put shit on lock like EVs with back wheels. Fix tapes look like crack still. Your prom park get closer too far. Your camera's cheap. That niggas can't compete. My staff is too elite. Queen City Steve Chief of the Jeep Cherokee. Still working. Straight from 117th and 9th. Life is trite, the skills is precise. Yo, I fuck with Kurt Nice, cause this shit is dumb nice. Best. That we play, many different hip-hop shades the crave, flavor to the grave, all the tracks that we play, many different hip-hop shades the crave.
DMC, but you know we'll be behind the D with the M plus B. Chip pound be getting down plus. What's your name again? I forgot it. It's something like Greg, but it's the nice on the end.
Coming through shades of hip hop, perfection you see every time. So pick up the state inside the stores.
Word up, the #1 video mixtape. Yo, word up.
Definitely shades of hip hop. It's definitely in the house of South Bottom. Shades of hip hop.
My man Kurt Nice, shades of hip hop.
Hey, you know the flavor shades of hip hop.
Different shades, man. It's not Gucci shades, not Chanel shades, not shades of blackness. It's shades of hip hop.
That's why we call Shades of Hip Hop.
Thanks for the Kurt Nice, cause you know they wouldn't do no video for no skit, but Shades of Hip Hop always underground, always keeping it real, and that's one love again. Some niggas in the dirt twice when I'm on Shades of Hip Hop with Kurt Nice.
Doing this live for my nigga Kurt. You know what I mean? Shades of Hip Hop.
Shades. This is
the shades right now. We got all spectrums up in this piece right now.
We can put out the Terror Squad, my man Canibus, you know what I'm saying? Shades of hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Keep it real.
Shades of hip hop.
That shit is fly. You need to
drop to the tip top, you know what I'm saying?
Shades of hip hop.
Word up, Shades of hip hop.
Time Forte.
Speaking of which, Holly Side, 1998, John Forte, Shades of hip hop, and I love all y'all.
Shades of hip hop can make a nigga famous. Many different hip hop shades to crave. Flavor to the grave over tracks that we blaze. Many different hip hop shades to crave. Flavor to the grave over tracks that we blaze.
No lights, just cameras, action, women to smoke. Sign artists freestyle, plus them niggas just roll. Best of both worlds, underground to the top. Interviews with crews, their honeys by the plot. We blaze the thick block, the shades of hip hop. To them niggas that bit, keep your eyes off our dick. Can catch the milk spit and watch it get drip. While you stressing, I'm landing some silk shit. Via satellite, local raps attack. Visual tracks, putting shades on the map. Stat for 99, Malgall, fade to black.
Fade to black, yeah. Many different hip hop shades of crave. Flavor to the grave over tracks that we blaze. Many different to the grave over tracks that we blaze.
Listen up, bruv. It's the legendary Kurtiss.
Raw Deal Rap Show. Thank you, Kurtiss.
My name is Shi Yanming. I'm a 34th generation Shaolin Temple monk. Welcome watching Shades of Hip Hop. Yes.
Shades of Hip Hop, baby.
Shades of Hip Hop. Nice, mixed video type joint. That's original concept too.
Alright.
Niggas see a Shades of Hip Hop tape. Me personally, I want to hear nigga cursing on your shit.
Shades of Hip Hop, you know what I'm saying? I like that because we get to say just what the fuck we want to say.
Of course. Underground raw.
She said no cleaning it up.
Ain't none of that censored, that stupid shit. That beef. Every time nigga fuck it, wanna say it's mine.
Fuck it. Pardon me, we represented by the drop. Alright, Shades of Hip Hop. Shades of Hip Hop.
I like that nigga be raw. You know what I'm saying? Straight gritty. You know what I'm saying? Straight dogged, rugged. That's what I like. That's what I like.
Yo, what up? This is Big Rup, 1/2 of Helter Skelter, 1/5 of the Fab Five, with my nigga Aguilar, 8 off this ass.
I mean, like, it's like, Shades of Hip Hop, you know what I'm saying?
My shit it drop like rain with every shade of hip hop. Spit your love if it's hot and fuck it if it's not. I make niggas see. Bitches say I can't figure me. Tell my future through my history. Vividly breathe divinity lyrically. Scholars in the game consider me a star falling on this industry. Y'all gon' remember me. My law is prepared for war. And be sure how I walk. Surround niggas like the walls of a mall. And you gon' see half the picture after I chew fat with you. I grab
I'm watching Shades of Hip Hop.
My words is like caps if they hit you. If niggas wanna take it, then I keep the idea. I make it physical. The game got my brain fucked up from all the changes. I used to want big wheels, now it's Pizzies and Rangers. Fans can't quarter my life to blow it up and frame it. Shades of hip hop can make a nigga famous. Many different hip hop shades to crave. Flavor to the grave over tracks that we blaze. Many different hip hop shades to crave. Flavor to the grave over tracks that we blaze.
Shades of hip hop.
Yeah, let my man go.
Shades of hip hop. Shades of hip hop. Shades of hip hop.
Shades of Hip Hop. Shades of Hip Hop. Shades of Hip Hop. Shades of Hip Hop. Shades of Hip Hop.
Shades of hip hop.
Hip Hop forever. Shades of Hip Hop.
That's it.
You a freestyle?
Yeah, if you want.
Hey yo, you got the camera lens on that or is it good?
It's good, man. It's good.
Oh, okay, my bad. Hey yo, it's the Funk Flav, Mickey Mac, you know what I'm saying? AKA the General. Right here, boy, Shades of Hip Hop. Funk Flav.
I got DMX, John Forte, Big Punisher right here, Shades of Hip Hop. 9-8, Planet of Queens, nigga. Whoa.
Video mixtape, Shades of Hip Hop. We right here. We right here. We right here, dog. We right here, dog. Where my dog's at? We right here, dog. See, you're supposed to be catching all this, dog. This is the real. You don't want the perform shit, the rehearse shit.
Me and DMX wear the jeans and suit on.
What?
With the lip on.
Yes.
Get charged what? With X was cool. I had met him a couple times before. He was like, yeah, right, what else is cool?
Yeah, dog.
Hey, yo,
that's my dog.
Shades of Hip Hop. Y'all all got to give a happy birthday to this man right here, the hot nigga coming out on the street. Nigga,
What?
DMX, you know what I'm saying? El Capitan, Don John Forte, Refugee Camp, Brownsville, never ran.
Canibus, Punisher, Mike G,
Mos Def.
Mos Def.
98.
Where's my
graduates?
alumni? Where's my dogs at, baby?
One love to all the Sagittarians in the crib.
Yes. Aquarius. We all up in here, baby. Where's my dogs at? We all up in here, dog. Hold me down, baby.
I know.
That is real hip hop, you know what I mean? It's that real hip hop, it's like stage of hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Just keep that same shit that you known for. Y'all known for motherfuckers getting on y'all shit and say motherfucker, fuck shit, bitch, motherfucker, suck dick. Y'all known for that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Alright.
Something about pagers constantly beeping. That then took on a meaning of getting noticed and everyone knowing your name. Today, it mostly refers to having lots of money. Back in the 1990s, however, it meant something even more, which was a little harder to explain. Now yes, it was about being famous, but more than that, it was about being known for something, being considered that guy for whatever your particular skill was. You would know if it was you when somebody said, "That's that nigga," or "He's that nigga." It was about being that nigga for whatever it was. Maybe you were a DJ or MC or a producer, or in my case, a guy doing video mixtapes. The key was to eventually be known as that nigga. That was blowing up. Now in the 1990s, that was all people like us thought about in our spare time. It seemed like it happened to so many others at the time. It's the classic Hollywood story of being discovered, but in the 90s it was happening for formerly untrained urban youth in hip-hop. It seemed like one day someone would be relatively obscure to most people, then pow, they blow up. One day it's Biggie doing a Supercat remix, then next thing you know he drops Juicy and Biggie's everywhere. Everybody knows him. Never mind the years of grinding behind the scenes, blowing up seemed more spontaneous. The years of obscurity and hard, thankless work not only paid off, but became a foggy memory in the midst of so much excitement and success. Blowing up embodied the shiny side of fame, the recognition, the accolades, the monetary rewards, and upscale access. It's the same treasure anyone has ever sought over the years trying to become famous. And again, like the classic Hollywood story, one day some waitress is trying to break into show business and the next day she's Marilyn Monroe or somebody. The only difference was that in the 1990s, our own art form, hip-hop, not Hollywood, was making it possible to blow up. That was something new. hip-hop content started to make a lot of money for all levels in the business, from the producer and the record company to artists and even bootleg music distributors. Hip-hop products were a source of stable income for retailers and producers starting in the 1990s, and it seemed like anybody could get a piece of the action. We had our own niche too. Living in Plainfield, New Jersey, my roots of travel took me to Newark and New York on almost a daily basis. Since 1989, I co-produced cable shows on local TV, which took me behind the scenes of the emerging hip-hop business. Now, hundreds of hours of interviews and outtakes, or B-roll as it's properly called, were stacked up on VHS and 3/4-inch tapes in boxes like DJ crates in my apartment. That's what they became to me. Footage was like records or recordings of stuff on video instead of just audio alone. Whether it was performances at shows, street rhyme ciphers, or cats just building on hip-hop as a culture, it was all stacked up in plastic storage bins like the kind that you would get at Kmart. It was all documented recordings in boxes of videotapes stacked up in my one-bedroom apartment. Most of them were labeled in some random way too, intentionally to confuse my friends rummaging through my stuff when I wasn't paying close attention. DJs back then used plain white labels on records so people wouldn't know what they were spinning. That way, other DJs wouldn't be able to copy their playlist of music. They would have to go search for the music themselves. That's what made a DJ exceptional, the catalog of exclusive and obscure records in their crates. DJs used to be extra secretive about their samples too. They would white label a record with some ill-ass vocals or instrumentation on it and maybe label it number 4 or dope beat number 4, just to throw people off. My system of labeling came from that perspective. Friends of mine would question and casually rummage through tapes as we talked and smoked while I edited in my home studio. That was where the idea for Shades of Hip Hop video mixtapes came from. Now, as I played footage we recorded for whatever cable video show I worked with at the time, friends of mine would become transfixed by footage that would never actually make it to the local cable airwaves. The best stuff, it seemed, was the stuff that was too raw for cable TV. There were guidelines against coarse language and weed smoking for one, and two, people were not accustomed to watching hip-hoppers sitting around smoking and building about hip-hop or just talking shit. It wasn't flashy enough. People wanted to see expensive videos or exclusive performances. And yes, we had that too. That's what we showed on the cable shows across New Jersey on all the major cable networks. Back then it was Store Cable, TKR Cable, and one or two other ones which all ended up being bought by Comcast Cable.
I was ugly because niggas were scared to look at me. I started reading.
On those cable networks, we aired the footage most people knew me for. I was the guy going around to different New York and New Jersey clubs back in the 90s doing local cable shows just like Yo MTV Raps or Rap City or Video Music Box used to do. Because of our proximity to New York, we got some of the hottest footage of hip-hoppers from small clubs on the underground. We taped press days and behind-the-scenes stuff like you would see on Entertainment Tonight show for actors and rock musicians. But our footage wasn't as glamorous. Our footage was more raw, made on cheaper cameras with less expensive lighting too. But that was okay for hip-hop fans. Hip-hoppers in the early 1990s especially looked kind of grimy. Some of us who had grown up during the transformation of hip-hop culture from obscurity saw the power this new culture possessed. Other people who wished to capitalize on the growing financial power of rap music recognized the strength of the culture for its ability to generate money. On one level, hip-hop music was trying to floss its financial success, and on the other, maintain a hard-edged underground credibility in the street. Hip-hop had already made its distinction from rap with the whole MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice era, and the phrase, rap is something you do, hip-hop is something you live, which was coined by KRS-One. The footage me and my friends liked was on the hip-hop side of the equation. Because of that, I had to be careful about showing my friends some obscure, ill-ass footage of so-and-so MC kicking a verse at some badly lit hole-in-the-wall club somewhere that was never actually going to get shown on cable. Sometimes, those tapes would come up missing if they were too obviously labeled. They would be like, "Oh, Jackson, you were never going to use that footage for anything anyway." That's the admission I would get back after hours of delving to the bottom of some deep argument about missing videotapes. So I started to rethink the situation and cut them off before they got curious. I decided to put the hot segments we all seem to like on one videotape. Then, if friends wanted to borrow a tape, I could let them, or better yet, they could just buy it for $10 and they wouldn't have to give it back at all. This was back when a good videotape could cost $4.99, so $5 worth of hot shit was a complete bargain, including the tape, especially when no one else had the footage. This was all the stuff that would never be on cable TV anyway. It was raw, uncensored, unscripted, and real-life everyday reality, something you really didn't see on TV much back then. By 1992, when The Real World debuted on MTV, we had already been mimicking Ralph McDaniel's Video Music Box by taping in all the local spots around New Jersey and then airing it on local cable. However, most of that footage never aired on cable. But in 1995, clips of it were brought back for our first official video mixtape for Shades of Hip Hop called Trains to Newark NYC. Now on that tape, Trains to Newark NYC, which was actually a videotape because it was on VHS, was footage from 1992 when we caught a wicked in-store session with Duck Down's first group, Black Moon, which was comprised of Evil D, Buttshot Shorty, and the 5 Foot Accelerator with Drew Ha.
Brunswick. So we in New Brunswick right now. We're here with my man Drew, who happens to be...
One of the most helpful aspects to underground video was the presence of independent video rental stores. Videotape rentals used to be a lucrative business in the 1990s. You wouldn't know that looking around today, but at one time, video rental stores were more popular than bookstores or video arcades. Before the heydays of Blockbuster Video, mom and pop video stores were a treasure trove of obscure and rare movie titles. Because again, there was no YouTube, no streaming services, and nothing for you to just watch movies at your house unless you owned a copy of it or you rented it. At independent video stores, managers were able to purchase their own product at the full retail cost, then rent the tape to people as many times as they wanted while charging whatever they wanted. So because of that, some first-run hit movies used to retail for up to $100 per copy on VHS, and then they would rent it for $5 for 2 days before you had to pay a $1 to $2 a day late fee. Now, movie distributors knew stores would get a heavy return off the rentals and were easily able to get over $50 per tape if they had name brand actors and Hollywood budgets for their movies. The way the stores were set up was very helpful too. The different sections would help guide you to a film you had never heard of or one you hadn't seen in a long time. Unfortunately, there was no real section built for us most of the time. Our projects weren't movies or musicals, and there was no such thing as a music video section because nobody had tried to sell their videos for the most part yet. Most of the time, our tapes had long periods where it was just talking with no music videos at all. There would be music as background track, but a lot of it was just interviews and studio sessions. This placed us where we needed to be though, which was in the documentary section. Unlike most documentaries at the time, ours wasn't about history as much as it was about history in the making. Our documentaries were about current history as it was being written. Shades of Hip Hop was what we call an urban culture video mixtape documentary. In effect, it was like a reality show about underground hip hop through the eyes of some video guys from New Jersey. We just called it Shades of Hip Hop.
So relax, we ain't never left. We here, me and my team on the grind for a minute. Now we about to put a flavor in your ear. Relax in the flesh. I ain't never left. We here, me and my team on the grind for a minute. Now we about to put a flavor in your ear. Relax in the flesh. I ain't never left. My team on the grind for a minute, for a year. Now we about to put a flavor.
It's funny now that I can sort of take pride in being a hip-hop nerd in the 1980s and 1990s. Back in the day, the strange tech guys that were into video and hip-hop like myself were an eclectic bunch. Some of us wore glasses, dressed weird, and all shared a love of documenting hip-hop culture. Recording everyday street life, or better yet, all down, candid moments with familiar hip-hop faces was something new in the 1990s because video technology wasn't as accessible. Among the hours of tape I recorded during that time are some classic pieces that have embedded themselves in the fabric of the culture. One of those sessions deserves special consideration because it may be a singularly unmatched piece of hip-hop history. It will also allow me to finally pose the question, is the Shades of Hip Hop Cypher the best recorded rhyme cypher in hip hop history? Every December, I reminisce on one of my favorite memories in hip hop. This past December, I finally realized how to classify that moment. Now, sometimes I flirted with the idea that I lucked out and recorded the best cypher in hip hop history, but it wasn't exactly that. The one I recorded, I considered to be the number 2 cypher in hip-hop history. The best cypher in hip-hop history was the one many still might not have actually even seen. It was from the finale of the Arsenio Hall show. Now, the eclectic group of MCs he had on stage, all in their prime condition, will never be matched again. It featured Yo-Yo, MC Light, Tretch, Fife, Q-Tip, Chip Fu, CL Smooth, Guru, Das Effects, Jizza, KRS-One, and Mad Lion. Now, admittedly, the mic quality and the caliber of the rhymes may not have been the best, but at the same time, it was revolutionary on a whole different level. Arsenio Hall allowed regular underground MCs to populate his performance section long before it was wise to do so on mainstream TV. That's part of the reason why it's the number 1 cypher in hip-hop history. Now, the cypher I recorded was much more intimate and personal. On the level of talent and significance of the rhymes, it was top-notch and may be considered a number 1. But the place where it's really number 1 is the fact that I just realized. The rhyme cypher I recorded is just one part of the dopest one-camera shoot in the history of hip-hop culture. Now, when you realize the video you see and the angles you get, from the start of the conversation to the end of the Canibus rhyme, is all one long shot from one camera, you know just how unique this footage actually is. Now, people post glowing comments about the rhyme cypher portion itself on bootleg YouTube copies that have millions of hits, but the rhyme is made more significant because of what they discussed prior to spitting their verses. And the weight of those rhymes spit by Mos Def and Big Pun were from their vast arsenal of gems, but probably ranked in their minds as their personal favorite to rock in this kind of situation. Now, the final point that solidifies the ranking is the rhyme Canibus spit for the first time in public ever, which was his second round knockout LL Cool J diss.
And if you really want to get it on, we can get it on. Live in front of the cameras on your own sitcom. I'll let you kick a verse. Fuck it, I'll let you kick them all. I'll even wait for the studio audience to applaud. Clap, clap. Now watch me rip the tap from your arm. Stick you in the groin, kick you in your Vanguard Award. Snatch your Vanguard Award in front of your mom, your first, second, and third born. Make your wife get on the horn, call Minister Farrakhan.
Exactly, it's work. It's not like, hold up, I ain't sound like that on the corner. Studios out all we do it. We do it.
You can do it without me. The best you can do. The best you can do. Without distracting. Just do it.
Because like
they got no choice.
But I'm a passionate individual. So with me, with my voice, it's like I try to use my voice like a singer in a way that, like, you know, there's.
But you do sing though.
Yeah.
You sing well.
I try to. There's certain inflections that I try to use for certain things. It's like I can't come. I try to have some range in what I'm doing. I can't come certain songs are dealing with certain topics. Certain songs, my voice is one way, and on other songs, my voice is another way. I try to, like, you know, couple of emotions. Sometimes you be talking to somebody you love, and you're cool. You be talking to a girl, and your voice will be one way, and then you be talking about something political or something that you're passionate about, and your voice will be another.
That's separate the real lyricists. But sometimes it's just lyrical, but they don't know when to do that. That's why we spend the task like, he'll rock the bells, and then he'll be, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I talk to like Smooth, my man Smooth the Hustler. I love Smooth the Hustler. But then he did a song about, I don't think if he just keep talking, I was like, yo, who's Mos? You know, come in like, come in like, come at it like this, like, I mean, if it's a beat a certain way, I will rhyme a certain way. You see me walking on beat cover, then I'm on the beat like, you know, so love, gotta stay my time. You know what I'm saying? You gotta come with different flows.
Depending on the beat.
Yeah, you just
and how you feel about it. That's like, well, this is what I'm saying. So
become that instrument.
Man, right here once again, Curtin ICE. And like I said, I'm going to be doing some quick reactions to some footage that's discussing the footage that I actually recorded back in the day that became known as the Cypher. And as you can check on my channel, the footage from the Roundtable Cypher, which you see part of it is in the background. You see Canibus and DMX right there. That's from the Cypher. That's the Roundtable session with Canibus, DMX, John Forte, Mike Geronimo, Big Pun, and Mos Def, carried out by the Village Voice. The interview was done by Torre, and I recorded that for Shades of Hip Hop back in 1997 on DMX's birthday, December 18th of 1997. It came out first on Hot to Death in 1998, which was one of our mixtapes before anybody that you know was doing a video mixtape. The first original video mixtape that ever existed in hip hop was Shades of Hip Hop, right? First widely broadcast in all the stores in New York, the first available one. People might have been in their hood passing it out to their friends like I was doing earlier than when I put it in stores. I was doing the same thing. Possibly some other people might have been doing it, you know, some of the other people that were doing cable shows like us. And I heard Ralph, you know, in the trailer for his the documentary that's on Showtime, I believe, that Nas produced, the documentary about Ralph McDaniels and Video Music Box. I heard Ralph say that, oh, it was, you know, Video Music Box was sort of like a video mixtape.
It was really a video mixtape in the beginning.
Sort of, but not really, Ralph, because all your stuff was censored because it was on cable. Just like my cable show at the same time. Like back when Ralph was doing shows and I was doing shows, Ralph started earlier than me. He's a pioneer. I met up with him many times and have given him that love and that credit.
It's Kurt Nice for Video Clubhouse once again. And we here with the pioneer himself, Ralph McDaniels, Video Music Box. What's up, man?
Nothing, everything's cool, man. Just chilling out tonight with Motown. Big shout out.
But he did not start video mixtapes. I did. You know what I'm saying? I actually started video mixtapes with Shades of Hip Hop. That was the first official, and still to this day, the best video mixtape that ever existed in hip hop. The first and the best. Shades of Hip Hop video mixtapes. And that's what it used to say on the cover. It used to say Shades of Hip Hop video mixtape documentaries. Because there was no such thing. So the only thing, so to get it into the video store, I had to put on their documentary too, so that they would put it in the documentary section and not check the rating, like the R rating and stuff, because we always had X-rated material on our tapes. So I was like, put it in the documentary section next to Faces of Death and Tommy and stuff like that, like music documentaries and just documentaries and weird shit. That's what Shades of Hip Hop used to be when it first came out. Until it got real big, and then they started putting it up into the new release section, you know, with like multiple. And I wish I had pictures of this, man. That's one thing I wish I had pictures of, like going into a video store and seeing like a whole couple of shelves, maybe even a whole wall of Shades of Hip Hop catalog in the new release section. But here we have on Talib Kweli's show, getting back to the Cypher, Talib Kweli's show, The People's Party, he brought on John Forte. And as you guys know, if you followed me on this channel, you know that I told you the way that I actually ended up recording the Cypher was because I was doing promotion for John Forte. His people got in contact with my man, Marcus Blasingame. He's a stylist. Shout outs to him. He does a lot of dope stuff. He got in contact with Blast, right? And then Blast called me on the three-way with John Forte on the phone. So John Forte called Blast. Blast called me. So now we're all on a three-way. And he's like, yo, I want to do some promotion. I want to be on Shades of Hip Hop. I'm about to come out with an album. This is the end of 1997, going into 1998. That's when he was about to drop his debut album. All right. He was working with the refugee camp and all of that. Right. The Fugees and all of that. Right. But he was about to drop his debut album. So he wanted to be on Shades of Hip Hop, which was the only video mixtape out at the time, you know, that was on and popping. You could do uncensored shit on there. He wanted to be on Shades of Hip Hop. So again, we discussed where he was going to be. He said he was going to be in the studio. He said he was going to be doing a show somewhere. He said he was going to be doing a couple other things, stuff that he had already recorded. You know what I mean? Type of stuff that, you know, we've been to mad shows already. We've been to mad studio sessions already. You understand? So I was like, no. I wanted to see the scope of what he was saying he was going to do. Then he brought up the Village Voice interview with Torre, right? He said, I'm going to be doing an interview with Torre, freshman class, people that's about to drop albums this year. We're going to be doing an interview section at this cafe in New York coming up like next Tuesday or some shit. So I was like, that sounds interesting. I was like, who's supposed to be there? He's like, it should be a bunch of people there, you know, maybe Canibus, Big Pun, DMX might be there, Because at that point, they only had singles and stuff out. Nobody had an album out yet. Canibus hadn't dropped Second Round Knockout yet. DMX hadn't dropped 2 platinum albums yet. He just had a couple of singles like Get At Me Dog and something else was out. I think he had Stop Being Greedy. It just came out. Pun had just dropped a couple of singles. He didn't drop his album yet. I'm Not a Player. He had dropped that and a couple of stuff, some stuff with Joe, but no album yet. Mos Def had never dropped an album yet. So you just heard of him messing with Daylight. You just knew who Mos Def was, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't really have no big songs yet. Of course, Mike Geronimo was actually the most known sort of at that time. He had just actually did a track with Bad Boy with Puffy. You know, he had did a remix for one of his songs with Puffy and shit. Irv Gotti was producing him at the time. And actually, if you watch that footage, you'll see I kind of pan over to Irv Gotti because I saw, I didn't actually know who Irv Gotti was. It's just that when I always used to go to all of these different hip hop spots, I would always see him. So I didn't even know who he was, but I just knew he was somebody because every time I would be like at some of these different parties and clubs and stuff, I would see him or like somewhere. But later on, I came to realize that was Irv Gotti. But that's what I would do. Like when I was on the camera at this point. So like I would always get the flavor of the room. So you would feel like you was there. So you would get to see what was going on. Sometimes I don't shoot behind me, but all the stuff in front of me, I will let you see the different corners of the room, who's sitting at what table, what they doing, if somebody's eating a French fry while somebody else is talking, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of footage you're gonna see. It's just one camera shoot, you know, still to this day, the best one camera angle shot, you know what I'm saying? The best one shot in hip hop is the Cypher. There was no cuts, you know what I'm saying? It was just all one shot. And that's the type of footage I would get. Here we have on Talib Kweli's show, we got John Forte discussing what he thought about that. So this is the first time I'm seeing this whole footage.
Of seeing that video of was it DMX birthday party or some event? It's on YouTube. It's John Forte, Canibus, it's Canibus, Mike Geronimo.
And hold up, see, and this is the other thing that's fucked up. When Talib Kweli pulls this fucking footage up, right? He don't even pull it up from my channel, the person that actually made the footage. He doesn't pull up from my channel, the person that has the whole cipher. He pulls it up from some random ass YouTube channel that bootlegged it for whatever. Shout outs to them, whatever, for keeping the footage alive and all this shit when I wasn't really messing with it like that. And I didn't want people to see it, but he was just playing the rhyme portion. This footage has millions of hits over different YouTube bootleggers. You know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, on my little ghetto ass channel that y'all barely see, you know, it's not gonna look like that. But in all reality, y'all seen this footage. This is classic hip hop footage. So when you see Video 94 come up, that ain't me. That's some other nigga that bootlegged my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's Mike Geronimo.
No. Yeah, Canibus, Big Pun,
yeah. Yasin Bey.
Yeah.
This is the most diverse group of New York MCs that you could probably sit around the table. In that era, we were all preparing. I wasn't there, but I was there in spirit. Yes. But we were all as up and coming MCs preparing to be in the industry, to put out records. So y'all were comparing verses that y'all wrote, but that at that point, most of us didn't come from having studios. So you just had verses ready to go in case you got to a studio. So it's like, okay, check this one out.
And again, if y'all want to see the original footage for this, just check my channel. Okay, because I actually have the original footage. I'm the one that actually recorded this. That's me on the camera right here. You know what I'm saying? Tons of people have bootlegged it, obviously. That's why you've seen it. You know, so that's why I don't fully hate, because, you know, that's how, like, it got out to a wider audience than people would have ever seen it just from me. You know what I'm saying? Because people that really grind more and be on here for the views and stuff like that, you're going to see it more from their channels. So shout outs to whatever bootleggers out there that bootleg my shit.
It's a very well-written, well-crafted verse that has no placement. And we all had these verses just in our head, ready to go at any given time. Tell me, what's the beat sound like? I got one for that. But y'all was doing that with no beat. Describe that moment of that videotape.
I didn't realize how important that moment would be.
It was like, that moment is like listening to Stretch and Bob and hearing Big L and Jay-Z rhyme. It's one of those moments.
I think so.
Yeah. This is what Talib Kweli is saying, you know, about the Cypher, right? This is what he's saying about Shades of Hip Hop, okay? This is what he's saying about yours truly, who recorded the Cypher back in December of 1997. He was like, it was like listening to Stretch and Bob. Yes, it was, because I was a big Stretch and Bob fan. We was a big mixtape fans back in the 90s, okay? I'm probably just a little bit older than Talib Kweli and John Forte. Okay, so I was the one that actually had equipment, because you couldn't just record it on your phone, you know, back then. Like, there wasn't no camera phones back then. You had to have actual, make an investment for real equipment, right? I was the one that actually did that and then made it into a video mixtape, because all that footage you never would have seen on cable, you never would have seen on Ralph McDaniel's show, because it was too much cursing. They was smoking, they was drinking. We couldn't play that kind of stuff on cable back then. So that's why I started doing video mixtapes, right? So that people could hear that rawness that they heard on Stretch and Bob, so that people could hear that rawness that they heard on mixtapes, so that they could see it, so they could see the atmosphere of what was going on, so that they could feel the vibe and the culture of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? They could see what people was doing out in the street that was listening to hip hop. They could see the artists on the all down situations when they wasn't like even in the studio, or they wasn't on stage somewhere, you know, or doing a real professional, like, well, that they wasn't doing an interview, but that, as you see, that wasn't like, that was a newspaper interview. That was an interview for a newspaper. That was a whole bunch of random talking for like an hour, but I was recording the whole thing. That's why you ended up seeing it. This is what Talib Kweli and John Forte think about that
Bob and hearing Big L and Jay-Z rhyme. It's one of those moments.
I think so. I think so. And so that moment of sitting around with Torre interviewing us didn't really strike me as profound as maybe it is, until I saw people hitting. It was like, oh, people are, you know, they're tagging me in the video and they're tagging the moment, right. and
this is and all new with the social media, like you're being tagged in this, and tagged in this new thing that's bringing you back.
And I'm like, oh, I remember that moment, kind of. Yeah, we were smoking cigarettes inside a restaurant, like it was a different time.
Old New York.
Old New York. Old New York. I talk 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe even 11.
See, I told you about this. And see, look, when I talk to John Forte again, man, I'm going to have to make sure that from now on, bro, when you talk about this footage, take credit for being the reason why I fucking recorded this shit. You saying the reason why I recorded this shit. John Forte don't even remember. This nigga was high so many times, and then he got locked up after that. This shit didn't mean nothing to them. When they recorded it, when it was doing a normal Village Voice interview, it would have just been that, and it would have never gone nowhere. You never would have saw that shit ever again. You know what I'm saying? There was plenty of times, right, where you do, where artists like that was doing interviews with the Village Voice and these different local newspapers. Like Village Voice was a local newspaper in New York. I don't even know if they're out anymore, because newspapers are pretty much dead, but listen, back then you would do an interview like that and it would come out and you would never even think about that shit ever again. But the difference is because Shades of Hip Hop recorded it and put it on the best first original video mixtape in hip hop. And that footage has survived until this day, and it's still one of the best ciphers, especially acapella. See, that was an acapella cipher. None of these other ciphers are acapella, because a lot of their lyrics can't stand up to being an acapella. It don't sound as dope with no beat. That's how you know who's the rhymers and who's not. Because a lot of y'all will get mesmerized by the beat and then y'all say something is dope. But meanwhile, what these niggas was actually saying, you know what I'm saying, is what rap was supposed to be about. It's about the lyrics. You say, but again, that moment became something else because it was recorded on Shades of Hip Hop video mixtapes and people bootlegged it. That's the other reason, because people bootlegged the hell out of it. And they was playing it because it wouldn't technically have been as big if they didn't bootleg. And then everybody just put that shit on social media and shit. But yeah, John Forte, when you fucking talk about this shit in the future, you're gonna have to take credit for the reason why we recorded the whole shit. The reason why that footage exists is because John Forte called my man that was working with Shades of Hip Hop, Marcus Blastegame at the time, and he called for us to do publicity for him. And that's why I went there, was because of John Forte. Maybe 6 months later to a year later, he got locked up and went to jail for like 7.5 years. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, all that shit became a fond memory. That shit was pushed out of his mind. You know what I'm saying?
And we were smoking cigarettes inside a restaurant. Like it was a different time.
Old New York.
Old New York. Old New York. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe even 11 a.m. I don't know, but
yes, it was an afternoon.
We were drinking and smoking, and we were.
It was the afternoon on a Tuesday. It was like an off-ass day. Just it was a regular, just like little restaurant, Match Cafe restaurant. I don't think they exist no more. They don't. I looked them up, but they don't exist no more. It was a little side cafe. We went to like 4 or 5 other different spots before we even got there. Because the other spots was like, hell no, y'all ain't bringing all them Negroes up in here. We got kicked out like of 2 places. And then the third spot, I think, was like, that was the Match Cafe. And then people was in there. And then it was still like the maitre d' and them didn't want us in there. So I slipped the maitre d' like $30, $40. You know what I'm saying? I gave him like $30, $40. Like, yo, here, let me turn the light on and just record these cats for about 15 minutes. Now that 15 minutes turned into an hour, but I had already paid the dude. And then if he had started to stop the shit, there was a whole bunch of people up in there already. It would have been kind of ugly. It was a dark ass cafe until I turned my fucking camera light on. That shit was like, I think I had a sun gun at that time. That shit was bright as hell, just so it could light up the whole area. So it was like a nice little cafe, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and shit, like a lunchtime crowd, business people from New York. It was like Lower Manhattan. You know what I mean? Just all these like a little business crowd in that. And here we come with all these hip hop dudes smoking cigarettes, talking loud, and then rapping and shit. You know what I'm saying? This is back in the 90s. You dig? So it was a different time back there, just like they said.
Like we were capable of greatness.
Anything.
We're going to go to Canibus talking about the Cypher. All right. On the bootleg, what? I'm sorry.
Take me back to that night from that Cypher.
Right.
Big Pun is one of my favorite ever. I mean, this is a crazy night in hip hop. Yeah. DMX is there. I mean, you're there. Like, what do you remember about that night and those circumstances from that night?
I remember that in that room, tense as it was because of what we all were trying to do in our own lives. We all wanted to come out, make our impacts, plant our flags in the ground, firmly make an impact in hip hop across the world. That's what we wanted to do. We were all American artists, right. Of course, coming from different lineages, right? And then
everyone on the cusp of being the next big thing in rap.
Right. And then ethnically, it was really spread out all throughout. You know, it was spread out. It was a spread out Roundtable, right? But in spite of how intense it was, what I distinctly remember was, as much as each one of us was willing to go hard with them rhymes and other things to make that statement, there was still complete love in that room. And you can look at it and tell like there was love for each other and respect for each. You know, that's what you didn't see anything jump off in there that was like unbecoming of artists that are kind of like in their freshman role trying to get it popping. Like we show love to each other in that. And there was no security there. We didn't need any extra. There was no hype man there. There was no squads. Nobody had a whole squad standing outside the door. That much I remember. I remember that there was love in that room, and the love, I think, was probably resonant because of the lyrical miracle ability, right? We all had that ability in there, so everybody respected one another's pen game. And we all knew consciously and subconsciously that we were kind of like all up against the same machine. We weren't up against each other. We were up against the same machine because we were trying to get something from the machine in order to go feed our little huskies and our munchkins and, you know, and branch out.
And once I show y'all the full cipher, I'm going to go into the details of what was going on at the time. And although Canibus says that it was all love, I can point to a few little instances in particular that was a little tense. Like he said, it was a tense situation in there. And when we talk about the cipher in full, I'm going to go into that more in depth. All right, I'm going to tell y'all what was really going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to pause the tape and I'm going to tell y'all what was really going on. I actually really want to do another documentary, Where Are They Now type of thing, and talk about people's careers and stuff that has transpired since we actually recorded that back in 1997. Everybody's life tells a different story, and mine just happens to be filled with a bunch of underground hip-hop. My name is Kurtiss, and I originated the first video mixtape series called Shades of Hip Hop back in the 90s. But some of the dopest experiences I had in hip-hop came after that. Now, throughout the 90s, I was a graphic designer that worked for myself and other companies doing event flyers and CD covers and t-shirts and promotion for different artists and event planners. And as things switched from analog to digital, we had to try to give artists a way to promote themselves. So we started using things like Sonic Bids, and people were in the idea of using MySpace, LimeWire, things like that to promote their music. And we even used something called Live 365, which was a 24-hour internet radio station software that allowed you to have your own radio station. So we began doing that down at the store. And as we built this platform for artists to come promote their music, unsigned artists to get seen and heard, we started having building sessions and doing recording in the store. And people would generally like to hang out afterwards. So instead of doing everything at the store, people smoking and drinking, hanging out downtown in Newark, this is in the arts area before it became what it is now with the Prudential Building and Rutgers buying the Haynes Building. That was just all just an empty, abandoned building, and then just next to that was a big-ass parking lot. It's all new, modernized buildings, and you have the whole center down there that Rutgers promotes, the hub down there. But before that, it was just the beginnings of an art community. I developed a lot of cool relationships with all kinds of artists that used to come through the store to hang out, or even go down the street to the art supply store, the fabric store, including legendary artist Jerry Gant, who used to be working on a lot of different clothes and stuff at the time, and he also did me that logo.
If you tired of the garbage of what these bastards is doing to our culture outside of Ill Dub, how they with the Laffy Taffy garbage do the Superman two-step and it's right in there. BS that they playing on the radio. If you mad, just like you mad like I am, that there's too many rappers and not enough MCs to pump that fist in the air. Man, the quicker y'all put your fist up, the quicker I get busy. Let's go, pump that fist in the air. Let's go, pump that fist in the air. Listen, yo, if anybody's videotaping this, yo, I got something to say to the rappers out there. Yo, if you gonna put it on YouTube, man, label this Dayton Hates Rappers. Listen, yo, this is the Mr. Rapper out there. If you a rapper in the crowd and you fall under what I'm talking about, it's tough for you. Yo, listen, I got something to say, Mr. Rapper. Stop! This is what hip-hop is dead. Homie, this is why. Hold up, I'm like, damn. Am I the only person here that has a good set of working in?
This is an overview. The short version is that as we covered the New York underground hip-hop scene for Shades Radio, we met up with KRS-One at an event. Now, after discussing our common interests in hip-hop, he brought me on as his marketing director, which led to me doing public relations for him and the Temple of Hip-Hop. Nobody is more respected on the underground hip-hop scene than the legendary teacher KRS-One. So it was an honor to be asked to go on tour with him for the 20th anniversary Stop the Violence Movement tour and the release of his book, The Gospel of Hip Hop. But before we headed to California, we made sure to bring the teacher to our favorite spots for at least a walkthrough.
ShadesRadio.com. Stop the violence movement in effect in the building. Right here, 101 Avenue 8, the Pyramid Club.
That's an eagle, your brothers. Black and brown, shot it from the mall. The empty out the door. Come on. Shut your master. Okay. Last verse. Okay. I'm zoning out real quick.
Village looking on the camera. We in front of the EO Dub, 101 Avenue A, Lower East Side. You know what I'm saying? You see this grasshopper right here. My man Craig G, man. How you been, man? What's up, man? Yeah. Yo, man, everything's good, man. It's a legendary Juice Crew member. You know what I'm saying? Legendary freestyle. He's so ill. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what you been up to nowadays, man? What's really good, man?
Album Jewel for Operation Take Back Hip Hop, all. KRS, Sadat X, Talib, Omega, Dilated People. It's out there, get it. Catch me on the road. Just Google me.
Craig G, that's what it is,
right
there. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Album's called Operation Take Back Hip Hop. Copy.
It's your homegirl, Sarah Connor, end of the week. Lyric, you already know, stop the violence. We could rhyme all we want about it, but at the end of the day, we hungry just like everybody else. New York City all day. And understand, respect the guy when you see him. KRS-One to the death. The Bronx will always ride and die. That's how we do it. Stop the violence. Keep it funky. Write some rhymes. If you're angry, write a freaking rhyme, stupid.
Yo, what up, man? What's up, boys? Y'all bless you, man. What up? Get it started.
I need more vocals in these monitors, more volume in these monitors. Hip hop. This is one of those nights that's going to be a commemorative night for the mighty EO Dub. We don't work. We don't work. We're going to work a long time to put this thing together. No music. Cali, break that down. Break that down. You know that EO Dub has been here for 8 years strong. We put it together with Shades Radio, Temple of Hip Hop, Stop the Violence Movement. Yes. You know, in hip hop, we deal with progression, especially right here inside EO Dub. Every Sunday night. And I know all of y'all is ready to get it popping. Y'all ready to get it popping? Make some noise in there. Yo, you know what? Just because we got Chili ass TV, Yo, Mozzie. Just because we got everything correct, I want the dude, when I count to 3, I want the dude who lives next door on the 4th floor to be waking out of his sleep right now.
Let's wake up the whole block.
If you know
right
who
now,
the fuck is in the building, EO Dub, make some noise!
Give me some more, give me some more. Can y'all hear me out there? Turn up the monitors, I'm just passing through. You can still work with this shit. Yeah, you can test the mic too. Alright, there's a little too much bass. Damn, I never felt the floor rumble like this.
then. This is hard shit. Turn the snare up, crack the snare a little bit. Crack the snare, listen y'all. When KRS comes to spit, these DJs with no breaks, I don't want to hear that shit. The radio, I don't even hear that shit. Gucci Prada, I don't even wear that shit. I'm in the streets, holler, they fear that shit. We blue collar DJs, we here to rip. 900 number, got 2 pairs of it. With MP3, I'm not sharing it. Classic sample and loops, we not clearing it. The life of a DJ, there's no comparing it. Many wanna be, but many more scared of it. Before they start, they already plan to quit. The music, they no longer fans of it. They wanna use it so they can make a grand and shit. The program directors handing them scripts, making them play rock shit and lie from their lips. Y'all get this. This is how we used to do it back in the days. 123 Park, Soundview Park. This is how Zulu Nation used to really get down and do it. And we used to think once was a story about a land, but now Chad is dead and all his kids is dead.
You know what hip-hop means to me? It means freedom. It means I don't have to do what the system says I need to do in order to be.
Just take the train, man. It's lovely. People are nice, you know what I'm saying? Got my coffee, so I'm happy. That's all that matters. Riding Amtrak, we've been through, I can't even count how many cities.
So we brought in a hip-hop historian, Kurtiss Jackson. He is not to be confused with 50 Cent. He's the original Kurtiss Jackson. And so we brought Kurtiss Jackson in to lend some credibility to why we chose hip-hop as the avenue and the vehicle. Because hip-hop is a culture.
Out of the Brick Mob, represent Shades of Hip Hop.
So it's a star-studded joint. That is real hip hop, you know what I mean? It's that real hip hop, it's like Shades of Hip Hop, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, what's up? This is KRS One. You checking out Kurt Nice on ShadesRadio.com.
Shades of Hip Hop, baby.
That's original concept too. I've never seen anything like it.
Oh, well, that's what we hope. That's what we hope. We're just trying to show that there's a lot of things that black youth can do out here besides just wild out in the blocks and stuff like that.
There's a lot of different areas you can be involved in music without just being an MC or a DJ or a producer. You could be behind the scenes of a video show, you know what I'm saying? You could be doing a video mixtape like what we're doing. And basically that's where it came from. We were doing video shows for like 7 years. We were doing DT Undercover. Shout out to him, you know what I'm saying? He back in Jersey chilling. But we just came up, you know, we got tired of seeing all little ruckus that they were doing on MTV.
Shout out to my man Al Skills.
So we had to do our own thing, you know, and then after that, we couldn't really show some of the hardcore stuff, some of the original flavor that we really wanted to show on TV, so we just took it to the streets and we made Underground Tape, Shades of Hip Hop.
Shades of Hip Hop, niggas. Shades of Hip Hop.
Nothing but that real shit, nigga.
Well, let me just to break down the concept. I mean, we do like behind the scenes tape, like you said. It's an underground tape. We do performances, interviews. We show videos, but we also show remixes, uncut versions, uncensored versions, original just MCs in the street, unsigned, rhyming. You know what I'm saying? On location, wherever they be at, on the blocks or whatever. We show social events like the Freak Nigga in Atlanta, like the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York. We show just different social events in Black youth culture, and we've been able, because we have that blend, we've been able to touch a lot of different areas.
Video Clubhouse, right? Ghetto style, you know how we do.
Shabba ranks.
Yeah, respect, Kurtiss. Yes, sir.
Definitely. I mean, I want to get back.
I don't know if I said that, I don't know if I mentioned that. Big up to New Jersey by law. This is Spot to the Queen at the dance hall, and you're watching Video Clubhouse. Fellas, don't move the channels, or else you miss the sexy video.
Freaky Tar, LB Fam represent for the 9-5. Mr. Cheeks representing LB Fam forever.
Yo, it's DJ Big Nice representing Backstreets, Lost Boys, LB Fam, and all that. It's the deal. I'm Pretty Ralu, representing the Lost Boy family.
Last Master KRS-One chilling with Video Clubhouse, the only place to hear me live and uncut, raw, uncensored. Peace.
Hip-hop has changed significantly in the past 2 decades. Today's fan has unprecedented access to artists, their music, and videos chronicling their every move. In stark contrast, being a hardcore fan of hip-hop in the 90s required a balanced level of dedication and budgeting. Print media reigned supreme, and without a video streaming platform like YouTube available, fans relied on platforms like MTV for content. It was during this era, which lacked accessible video camera technology and social media, that many amazing moments were lost. Like DMX and Jay-Z's infamous battle, or KRS-One throwing PM Dawn off a stage. Luckily, thanks to unsung hero Kurtiss, creator of the influential Shades of Hip Hop video series, one of the most iconic ciphers in modern hip-hop history has lived on to capture the imagination of new listeners.
I ain't never left, we here, yeah. What's about to so relax, we back in the flesh. I ain't never left, yeah. 1 minute, we about to put the...
The following program contains graphic material, including offensive language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Who is the richest man in the world?
Who's the richest man in the world? Not me, Bob, not me. Well, it's not me either, Don.
But I'm a passionate individual. So with me, with my voice is like I try to use my voice like a singer, in the way that like there's.
But you do sing though. You sing well.
I try to. There's certain inflections that I try to use for certain things. It's like I can't come. I try to have some range of what I'm doing. I can't come. Certain songs that I'm dealing with certain topics. So certain songs, my voice is one way, and on other songs, my voice is another way. I try to cover the gamut of human emotions. Sometimes you be talking to somebody you love, and you're cool. You be talking to a girl, and your voice will be one way, and then you'll be talking about something political or something that you're passionate about, and your voice will be another way.
That's true.
That's how you separate the real lyricists. Because sometimes it's just lyrical, but they don't know when to do that. That's why we respect the cats like. He'll rock the bells and then he'll be, well, I'm alone. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I talked to like Smooth, my man Smooth the Hustler. I love it, Smooth the Hustler. But then he did a song about another thing, and he just keep talking. I was like, yo, who's boss? Comment like
this. Nice too.
Comment like comment like this. Like me, if the beat is a certain way, I will rhyme a certain way. You see me walking on deep cover. Then I'm on the beat like so love's gotta fit my puns, gotta you know what I'm saying? You gotta come with different flows.
Depending on the beat.
Yeah, you can sound the same.
And how you feel about it. That's like, well, this is what I'm saying.
So
So
become that instrument, and you really compliment.
Exactly.
Just not just because if not, you become what do you call it? One of those things that just sit in the middle of the room.
Something just there.
I forgot the word. Just that's just there, and it don't move you. It's just there,
taking up space.
So you like some writers, and I mean, mainstream writers like when I get a beat, because the beat may become alive. I listen to her, and she just brings out the music. You know what I'm saying? I can write forever to the beat.
Oh, right. You said she.
More to beat.
Energy.
Yeah.
You gotta be some type of energy that niggas cannot see, man. Bottom line, some type of energy that niggas cannot see, man.
Kick something.
I was thinking about? I started thinking about, because you know how you like remember stuff with word association? Yeah. I started thinking about, remember that show, The Magic Garden, when you was little, before you go to school? That show used to come on? Or when you was sick and you go home, you catch The Magic Garden because you was home earlier than everybody else? Yeah. That show, I was thinking about that clubhouse. You know what I'm talking about. Look, you know what I'm talking about. The squirrel and the two girls, the swing. Chuckle patch. All right.
It's my time. Man, I just don't know sometimes. You know what?
I feel right now. Woo! Yo, talk about ego. Because if you have confidence, we all got it. We all got an ego. That's why we here right now. We all got egos here right now.
I'd like to contest that.
Oh, you don't have an ego?
I'd like to contest that. My father said something very. He was always dropping bombs on me, but my father said something that EGO stands for Ease and God Out. And everybody has an ego. But life is a fight. You know what I'm saying? Life is a fight and the enemy is self. you are your biggest enemy.
I feel like
if you let your ego go out of control, ego stops people from being honest. Like for instance, I could come in here into this restaurant, and if I'm working off of ego, and I'm with the next man who's Big Will, and who's stacking mad chips, my ego is going to force me to be like, well damn, he's stacking mad chips, and I don't want to play myself. I probably really can't afford it. I'm gonna go that extra length to prove a point.
Right.
Honestly, it'd be better for me to just say it'd probably be very easy, a lot easier, but the test is for me to say, yo, Duke, I ain't really got like that, so I'm gonna just chill.
But ego has to be at that level. Ego
is there regardless.
Ego can just be.
Ego get the best of you.
Ego can just be. You just being here right now. That's what they say, yo, you want to come to this meeting today with the street team? We're like, nah. But you want to come to the meeting today with Canibus?
Exactly.
See, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? That's ego.
To a certain degree, an MC needs it because, like, you in a However, where ego is, and this is why I brought that point up. However, where ego is a hamper, is that you have cats who say like, boom, I want to do a song about this, and this. Personally, on an intimate level, someplace where nobody else is a spectator to it. However, they'll be like, well, damn, that cat is kicking this, and that cat is kicking that cat is kicking that, and it'll make cats modify themselves. Cats will edit themselves in their head before they even spit it, because they want to protect their image. With me and my style, I'm trying to eliminate my ego to the nth degree, because I'm just trying to come from the truest place. Like,
but
fuck with that.
That's ego right there. That's ego right there.
An egotistical person tries to be the best, right? But you're supposed to strive to be the best. How can I write a rhyme and be confident in it? You know what I'm saying? And want to bring it to the table, but he just ripped it. I want to rip it.
Yeah. I'm regular.
I'm regular anyway. Right now, can't do it. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. The bottom line is competition, yo. It's competition. And when shit gets fucked up is when competition turns to intimidation. You know what I'm saying? Because see, competition, niggas is in the mic booth, you know what I'm saying? That nigga went and he did his thing. This bottom line, I want to come in there and get busy. You know what I'm saying? I want to shine. That's the bottom line. Now, I said, yo, straight up and down, when Ben Johnson whipped Carl Lewis's ass in that race, you know what I'm saying? Carl Lewis got beat, yo. He ain't want to knuckle, you know what I'm saying? He didn't want to lump the nigga up. He ain't want to lump Ben up. He just walked away from the race. He wanted to, but he couldn't, you know what I'm saying? He took it like a man and kept it moving. You understand what I'm saying? Where that competition would have turned to intimidation was if the nigga said, yo, fuck that, yo, and started that. You understand what I'm saying?
You have tremendous ego. Tremendous. Like KRF ego. Can that overcome certain little deficiencies in skill?
I think of course. Whoa. See, ego only goes so far, though. Ego only goes so far. Like, ego is like, it's a sales pitch. I'm L. Why? Believe me. That's what ego is. I'm L. Why? Because I said so.
If you want to MC,
you know what I'm saying?
That's MCing though.
No, hold. But see, there comes a point when it's like, this is, I remember being, honest, I swear to God, wallahi, one of my earliest memories about MCing, I sat back a lot because the code of the streets growing up in the projects, you couldn't be just any nigga just stepping up rhyming. You know what I'm saying? You had to be introduced to the circle. It was a protocol. So I had to sit back and observe, and that protocol I respected because it helped people observe and really get real information on how you're supposed to come, who you should respect, who's who. That protocol don't exist no more, so you got a lot of cats that's coming up out of nowhere, ain't been introduced by no kind of circle, no affiliations, no authority.
I stepped up on the scene, it was like, yo, I'm saying this, I hear what's out there, and I know my shit is competing with that, so I ain't got to be introduced by nobody. I'm saying what I got to say. That's what I'm saying. I'm hot.
And it's up to the people to decide.
How you gonna let a nigga introduce you?
No, I'm not saying introduce you in that sense. I'm saying it's just like you had to qualify with people who had authority. Right. Like for instance, like you couldn't just be. You had to qualify with self, definitely. But that's the first criteria. But you had to be somebody had the knowledge of shit and be like, you know what? Like Nas said, back in '83 I was an MC sparking, but I was too scared to grab the mic. Because you put it in these steps out. Okay, now my niggas was
Rakim said kick a hole in the speaker, pull the plug and jet. So he said fuck your whole set right now.
That's another thing that'll qualify you like, yo, that nigga is real.
So you're talking about different qualifications. So basically what I'm saying is, if you separate us, let me finish. Let me finish. If you separate us and analyze our styles, what you defending is what you defending, and you will always be defending that. You know what I'm saying? And what he defending, what I'm defending, he defending what you. And you just gotta separate them, dog. There's no way to put it together. Your ego, you know what? Yeah, picture ego.
For me to say, word up, for me to say some shit in the rap that you said today or something like that. Nah,
fine-tune your ego to how you know what I mean?
And I was saying all of that to make this point. You can get a cat that can talk about how ill he is. Prove it. Apply all of that ill shit to doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you would prove it.
You can have a
nigga, we just prove it by saying it and having everybody there like, oh shit, he is the illest.
But see, okay, but
you can prove like that.
Does he have an ego? I see a realist.
Say again?
Would he still be an egotistical person if he is the illest? If I say the illest, I'm one of the illest.
Okay, for instance, it's like, to me, it's like a dude
who's to say how it gets
court.
What's
the
standard
for proof?
Exactly.
The standard for proof is taking okay.
That's your standard.
MCing, no. It's the true standard. MCing, you get a nigga come to the ball court with the ball and the ill kicks and talk big shit to everybody on the court about how ill he is. And he can have some niggas heart behind that shit. But it comes a time when you gotta bounce. You gotta hold a rock. And you gotta prove all that shit.
Listening to shadesradio.com.
Came into the game and it was like no rules, man. Man, fuck the illest nigga out, man. I want that shit.
But he proved it. Why? Because he held the rock. He held the rock. That's what I'm saying. After he held the rock, it evidence itself. You get a lot of cats talking on the sidelines about, yo, I'm ill, look at my kicks, look at my stance, you know I'm ill. They never fucking play.
Them niggas usually never get nowhere.
You gotta play.
So they wasting their breath anyway. That's why they're not at this table. They over there, you know what I mean? The City Crab where it got canceled.
Everybody in 98 got
they over there, City Crab, like, yo, where them niggas at? Where everybody supposed to be here? I wanted to battle that nigga. Faggot ass niggas.
What makes a great MC?
What makes a great MC? That's like saying, you ask me who's the best. It goes right back to the same thing again.
There you go.
I can answer it. I can answer it. And use ego. I can answer that question and use ego. Us. What makes a great MC? Us right here. You're looking at what makes a great MC. All the qualities and everything
like
that you
said,
right now.
Fearlessness. You have to be like, look, this is my style. I give a fuck. This is my shit, and I believe in it.
But you can't be a stupid nigga. You gotta know what's hot and what's not. You know, you can't be ignorant and like, yo, my shit is blazing. It's not. The only nigga feel like that.
I really believe that a lot of cats is out there saying it is blazing and really know that it ain't. It's just, they moving on.
They don't count. They don't count.
But it's a lot of cats like that. They like, yo, if I tell them See, people don't believe in the things that they be telling you. They believe in the ability to tell you that shit and to have you believe it.
Too many niggas out there.
It's like them. It's like them.
You can't argue with anybody. If you don't get points for it, you don't argue with that. I don't argue with you if I get no points. Hit him with that again. Hit him with that again. Nobody, nigga, I ain't argue with you unless it's with some points. That's why you get out of it. You know what I'm saying? You're nobody, ain't no points.
Bet that. Too many niggas try to prove it to themselves. They not trying to prove it to me and you. And I'm gonna give you an example. And I ain't gonna say no negative.
You should already have it proved to yourself before you even open your fucking mouth.
Exactly.
You should already be proved to yourself before you even say anything.
These type of niggas that's out right now, right? Boom. You get your V. Shit is alright, you know what I'm saying? You like, you proud of yourself, you got your car, you come around the way. Everybody else is showing you love, son. Yo, man, congratulations, you did your thing. But there be that one nigga who come up, my shit is gonna be hotter than your shit. My shit is gonna, this shit ain't nothing, son. Wait until I get mine.
He's thinking out loud. He's thinking out loud.
Can't let nobody dream it out loud. Can't let nobody
dream it out loud. Word up, nigga dreaming out loud.
That's my car. I ain't lying, son.
What's your favorite word? Favorite word to say on a record?
Name the most frequently used word?
No, the word that you like
to say
the most.
My favorite word I haven't said yet on the record. Tumultuous.
Why?
That defines everything that we're going through with going into the new millennium, with where we're from, and with who we are right now and where it's going. Rough, turbulent times, and shit could be potentially detrimental to all of us. Tumultuous. It's not under control right now. Shit could we could either get all together, lock shit down. I'm not saying we all gotta form a big group or we gotta do, you know, one of these love, peace, and happiness records. But I'm saying straight up and down, we just, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we gotta do that, but I'm saying that if we channel our energy, and know that we out there MC.
Look, boy, you killing me right now.
No, that's love, peace, and happiness. That's love, peace, and happiness. That's love, peace, and
Nah, it's humor, dog. It's over. Come on now.
Can.
Favorite word?
Dog. Got to be.
That's my favorite word. It's spelled G-R-R-R-R-R.
My favorite shit is blackout. All these lights out, darkness, can't see you, can't see me, I'm out.
Elevator style, play the wall. Play the wall.
The blackout, you know what I'm saying? A lack of energy, man, just nothing.
There we go.
Total darkness.
My favorite, I got two favorite words. Can I pick two?
Yeah.
Two favorite words is utility and yes.
No, you only get one.
Well, utility, because in life, if it can't do something, then what is it here for? If it don't serve no utility, then what is it here for? So my favorite word is utility, facility, ability, capability. Utility, you know what I'm saying?
Who's that? My utility.
Tell me, come over here. Utilitarian.
My favorite word is yo. That's when you know I'm going to get some ass, right? Someone mess up, yo. When I rhyme, I always say, yo.
Yeah,
ready for war, you know what I'm saying? Always yo.
Before all MCs start,
that's sticking your flag. That's sticking your flag in the flag.
That's
right here.
Mike G, what up, baby?
Sit down. Master IC.
Yo is like the ancient. Yo is like the ancient mating call. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You can't get it started off without yo. Yo is like the universal yo.
Yo, you said sticking your flag in the. I was the first nigga here.
I claim this land right here.
Man, I say yo, it's like a flag.
No doubt.
Everyone starts with yo.
Claim this land right here.
Everybody want extra bone for a nigga.
What's that?
Unity bones on behalf of X.
You know? Party pack.
We just talking about skills, styles, flows. What's your favorite word?
He just asked you right now, who's actually who's buying strap on the wall right now?
Fucking get on it like that. I'm saying, yo, let me say something about that shit.
That's it.
As a, okay, like we all
you know,
like professionals working in the industry and shit. So a lot of times what I notice is that niggas is like, yo, I'm not feeling so and so, but I don't say it because I got to move around in these industry circles about
Nigga need to get shit on. He need to get shit on.
You're doing him some good. You're doing him some good.
Cannabis no. Cannabis no.
At the end of the day,
Cannabis no.
Sometimes you must.
Have you not you heard?
Sometimes
you heard?
At the end of the day, I'm as much of a consumer as anybody watching BET or MTV or anybody else, and I have the right as a consumer to say, yo, I'm not feeling that. As much as anybody at this table or anybody else in the industry got the right to say, yo, I'm not feeling that cat Mos Def.
You gotta prove yourself, yo. That's right.
I mean, you and everybody ain't gonna be feeling you. I mean, that's just the bottom line. But the fact is, it's like, yo, it's like this gag order on saying, yo, I'm not feeling that. You know what I'm saying? And it's perfectly all right to say, yo, I'm not feeling XYZ cat because I'm just not feeling that. And maybe a lot of cool, like Connor said, some whack niggas is cool. With him, I stay cordial. But that don't mean that, like, just because you meet a cat and he's cool and y'all bonded up on something like, yo, what's up?
That you can't tell that nigga son.
Yes. You must tell him.
You ain't do it on that verse. You ain't do it.
If you're cool, you gotta tell him that.
If I surrounded myself with a bunch of yes men, son, my record would have been out 5 years ago. Niggas would have been kicked me in the ass and beat my shit up. I'm telling you, sir, because I was not that nice 5 years ago. I'm not saying I'm the illest nigga now, but I guarantee you, yo,
best
I would
thing
do
that
my
happened to me
shit.
in my rap career is one of my best friends. One of my best friends was like, yo, you need to leave this rapping shit alone. Well, I got L after that point.
What?
Is he still one of your best friends?
You don't think I'm nice?
That motivates. Is he still one of your best friends? That motivates not out. Because if that's your craft and if that's what you do.
No, but he was damn right.
I see what you said, he meant.
Oh, well.
I wasn't nice.
Okay, like, in that case.
He showed you something that he was your man.
But he was like, yo, you need to leave this rap shit alone. And I was like,
he should never tell you that. He should tell you to try harder.
Yeah, take it somewhere else.
Someplace else.
Yo, maybe you know how to tell him that. You couldn't just tell him, take it here, because he might not know how to take it there.
If I play ball, don't tell me I'm waxing your pun with some weight, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't say I'm waxing.
yo,
do it like this.
Don't ever tell me I can't do it.
The worst thing for a competitor to do or anybody to do, and the best thing for them to do is tell me that I'm whack.
Yo, a certain female
MC,
it's like, 3 years ago told me, you should stop singing. Because, yo, dude, I was so tone deaf, my man. Now I can produce any record with singing on it because I ain't get hurt by what she said. I sat there and said, you know what? I gotta learn from it.
Some people use it.
I got to get strong.
Know this. Hip-hop and rap are not the same things. Rap is something that is done, while hip-hop is something that is lived. Hip-hop is the behavior that produces the act of rapping. Without hip-hop, rap has no life and no meaning. Rap, rhythmic speech, is but one expression that comes out of the total hip-hop experience. Traditionally, hip-hop has been approached as an art form that consists of b-boying, breakdancing, MCing, rap, aerosol art, graffiti writing, and DJing, the cutting, mixing, and scratching of recorded materials. These are called the core four.
It's time for Jersey to eat, man. Who you know who flow hotter, roll with more dollars, deal with a lot of chicks and all of them old scholars. Don't ask where that perk come from, I know nada. Don't care who you got, that's hot, I got lava. Easy youngin', aggression leads to rah-rah. Relax and breathe, my gun don't believe in drama. I do what I gotta, losing is not an option. I'm always on the grind for mine, cause the beast watching. Flood the streets with treats, puff trees with the rosters. Before steak and lobsters, weed out fakes and imposters. With secret handshakes, the Greek thugs and mobsters. I hate snitches, so niggas stay the fuck away from coppers. Cause them bags is deep and like coming with hella choppers. They try to knock us, you know they scared of top shotters. And ain't a chance in hell the punks gon' box us. It's dollars over hunger, that's how the streets got us. Work tip in the scales cause it's dollars over hunger. Got them filling duffel bags, dollars over hunger. Hoodied up in ski masks, dollars over hunger. Always stay on my grind, dollars over hunger. Work tip in the scales cause it's dollars over hunger. Got them filling duffel bags, dollars over hunger. Hoodied up in ski masks, dollars over
first piece I was telling you about.
Remember when we was there and some kid from Money Boys played, nigga stepped to me and he was like,
"Here you go, what's some names going on, bro?"
Yo, he's like, the shit you do is ill. He's like, I did you with rhyme, but the shit you did with Puff is whack. He's like, I'm just telling you it's whack. I couldn't amp up and just slap you or whatever. I'm listening to what he said.
Right.
Bottom line is you ain't gonna please everybody.
Exactly. I probably would have smacked him though.
I know how he would have grabbed the nigga up.
That's what happened in LA. We was in LA with some kids that didn't really know who we was. And it was night, Nifty, remember?
Oh, yeah.
What I did. We was actually going to just figure a battle, you know what I'm saying? Battle like 9 niggas. Nice
Let
cats,
tell
you
me
know
I'm
what I'm
whack.
saying?
I'm whack.
I ain't no
It's the
money.
best nigga. Put him up against him. Show me I'm whack.
All right. We talking about. What does it take to rock a show?
A performance.
Energy.
Anybody can come up
man.
and do the rhymes. I can come up and do your rhymes, but I'm not gonna get felt.
There's only one nigga I know.
See, you're not doing my
Grab a
rhyme.
mic
You're
and
reciting my
stand still.
lyrics.
That was Rakim.
I'm not doing
Back
my
in the days,
rhymes.
Rakim ain't
It's a
move.
difference.
He would just stand there and grab the mic. And rock. But he had this aura around him.
That's what it is.
That's the God right there.
It's aura. It's all aura.
You know what? Time to change it.
Now he had to change
I was there the first day when Union Square opened up and he performed. We threw shit at him, man. Because he was just standing
I like the power performance.
and he didn't sound like the
You know what I'm saying?
record. So we looked at him
giving it a love
like,
because now they got cats bringing it.
Yeah, you got niggas jumping off
See
speakers
performance.
and
I heard
you
you
know, jumping in the
now
crowd.
let me see your record. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Let me see what you was talking about. I heard you, but do you mean it?
Yo,
I can tell when you say it if you mean it.
Like,
You know what I'm saying?
got to play your tape in his deck, and like, it's a visual that's going on when somebody's listening to your shit. But when you
they imagine you a certain way. You know what I mean? You know how many places where people are like, yo, I thought you was a lot taller, money. Or I thought you was a lot
Niggas thought I was like you about
to me, there needs to be an element of like
bodyguard. Niggas want to battle, you want to battle, you're right.
Right. Get him. A show is like theater. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have. You can't just
act your shit out, man.
You gotta map your shit out. The illest show, and the best thing that happened to me in my career as far as shows was touring with Daylight. Because them niggas was scientific with like the way they don't just do, they ain't just like, yo, this is one song, we gonna roll into this next song, or yo, this is the next song, we gonna roll into this song. They got whole like routines.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna join him. It's his birthday.
They creating a whole atmosphere, like a whole vibe behind their shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be. It's either you gonna be a great communicator. My thing is to talk to the people. These people is here to see you. It's a relationship.
Yo, you got to interact with the crowd.
You know, you gotta make everybody in the crowd feel like you're talking to them.
Right, directly to them.
Because the way I started, I started with songs. I started with Joe. So you ain't know none of my songs. So usually when we perform live, they don't even know what you're talking about. So you gotta try hard. They just know the words to your songs.
Yeah, that's easy.
So Joe put me in the stage like, yo, drop the mic. I mean, drop the beat. He's tired, come on, rhyme out that bitch sweater right there and go back over here and with the breaks. You know what I'm saying? I gotta bring it back and forth, freestyle, you know what I'm saying? And that's how you bring it.
That's skills.
You know what I'm saying?
That's skills.
That's
I don't freestyle in public. But that is skills. When you can just take it there and not fuck up. My biggest fear is having a nigga see me say something stupid. I can't ride with that. Oh, he said some bullshit. You'll never hear that. You'll never hear that. I'm scared of that.
Straight up and down, like for a nigga to freestyle about shit around the room and just carry on or whatever. You know what you doing? Drawing props out of that nigga. Right. Taking the props from him. Give me that. Give me that, mother. You know what I'm saying? Give me the props. That right there is a whole. That's a different element. Some niggas rock crowds like that only. You know what I'm saying? Only rock crowds like that. And
that's why it's a stage. That's why it's a stage. Right. There's a stage and there's an audience. And regardless of what people say about role models and all that, everybody in that audience is looking up to you, literally and figuratively.
On the flip side,
you up there on the plateau, so they looking
on
like.
The flip side, when you ain't drawing the props out, sometimes niggas is just in the crowd ready to give you props. You know what I'm saying? Like they not even. Yo, they already know what you do. You just gotta come out there and do it right. They want to hear the beat drop. When they hear that beat drop, they know what you coming with and they want to recite it with you.
The music is just magic. I can be thinking to a bitch at the club. I don't like fat niggas. Then I perform. I'm not a player come on and she's in the front row. Wow, it's fucking live. You don't know what I'm saying.
Yo, I've been in this joint.
Bananas, you know what I'm saying?
They had a DJ battle for like 2 hours straight. Then they gonna try to put me and my man on performance. This niggas is tired of, you know, just watching the stage. They ready to start dancing again. You put me up here on First Street, now what the fuck do I do? I pick a nigga out the crowd. Money, you ain't know. I'm not talking to him, but I'm talking to him. I already had the round I'm gonna say, but I'm pointing in his fucking face and oh, you want it? Come on up here. Now I turned it into a show. I turned a solo act into a whole, you know what I'm saying, a play with mad niggas involved. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to, your niggas not gonna diss me till I get on stage. What you gonna do now? I'm nice. I'm not trying to hear that.
Because out of that whole crowd, everybody is a believer, dear man. It's the non-believer that you gotta touch.
Yeah, he'll fuck it up.
You know what I'm saying?
He'll fuck it up for you. Get off the stage.
You look, you know,
yeah, point him out. Nigga, you pussy and shut up.
I remember one time I was hosting Lyrics and Slides a long time ago when they was at the Muse. And I'm on stage, I'm hosting, I was, you know, spitting some shit. And this cat in the back was like, get on stage with that old smooth Brooklyn shit. He was a dude, I knew him, he worked at the joint. So, diplomacy goes a long way. It's your demeanor. Because as soon as he said that, there was no time to get McGill Gorilla. I was just like, oh, what? So why don't you come up here, money? Why don't you show me what you got?
There you go.
Real
put him on Front Street.
He was dead. That was the last I heard of money. I called him like 2 or 3 times back to the stage. He was like, nah, man, I'm just saying. I'm just fucking.
I'm just, now it's a joke.
I like my nigga.
Yes, so Mr. Ill MC, how many MCs have you killed?
Well,
I'm saying, though.
I do beats.
I'm saying, though.
Yeah, I dance with niggas. Get the fuck out of here.
It's double rap.
No, that's Grandma.
That's my shit. It's like, you know, when niggas want to get real live and L, you know, on some real live, yo, that's battle type shit. I just go, alright.
Yo, it's my man's born day right here. Purpose on the B-Day board.
Oh, what?
It's the birthday boy right there, yo.
Like 42 years old, yo.
Oh, you Sagitt? True.
Don't get a bottle of champagne from over here, yo.
Alright. 42 years old. And I'm still going. Still going.
Scariest Sagittarius you ever seen.
Yes.
Genetically dominant genes. Well, let's talk about slang, because everybody uses their own words, their own areas.
Some niggas follow trends, other niggas set trends. Same shit with slang. You make up slang and have niggas run with it.
Can I give Wu-Tang and Raekwon the illest props for creating the whole... Yo,
I be listening, bro.
That's they slang.
Yo, next guy had big eyes on chips.
Don't see it. It wasn't meant
My nigga 20 Grand Picasso said, yo, this world is messed up. So I leaned back and spoke to Yeshka. He went into a Hebrew book and got out Yeshka. But you know what he's talking about because of the context that he used it. The key to using slang, if you want to introduce it to the world, use it in the context where people can interpret it. Okay, obviously, I know what you're talking about.
Mega ice on chips or more.
Yeah, no doubt. No, Ray, you can't fuck with what them niggas is a unit, yo. You know what I'm saying? You talking about the niggas from a unit. When the niggas is bringing it forth, they bring it forth what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? And they bringing it to you. That's the whole shit, man. You come protect your neck had no rules. It was just all these niggas on one record. No hope, no nothing. Then niggas came with Triumph and flip that later on. You know what I'm saying? Years later, you can't fuck to talk about your Wu-Tang. You can't feel. Yo, you gotta feel them niggas. Them niggas is bringing something to the table that was never brought to the table before. They make you want to go do your own thing. Bottom line, the nigga Ray said, yo, he had rainbow rolling on. What the fuck is a rainbow rolling? Rainbow rolling is rainbow colors. You know what I'm saying, right? You know what I mean? Blue face. Them niggas do their own thing. That nigga goes. Yo, can we?
Yeah. Can we end this on a note where we all vibe? I mean, little 16 or something. Can we feel that just from the heart? Not one trying to impress the next or trying to, take over the next, but just expression, man. Because that's what this whole shit is. You know what I mean? Niggas expression.
Ron?
Yeah, like a little 16 or something. Can we?
I'm going first.
You know what? Let me get into one more issue before we, because a lot of shit we've seen, right, in the hip hop slide, right? Niggas come out, their first record is the bomb. Second record is like, is it?
Born Loser?
Just give me the.
That was your shit.
Yeah. Young man without some born loser type shit. When a nigga felt like he born to lose, you know? It was real, but it wasn't accepted the way I spit it out.
Born to win.
That's time.
Yeah, but what egos you had now?
I ain't had a beat.
I think that niggas' second albums get messed up because, like Forte said, a lot of cats,
they lose sight. That's all it is.
And it's still like when you on your first joint, you just like, yo, whatever.
Like for example, like Nas, his first album, he was in the street. He wrote it in the street. He was poor. He was broke in the street. Then he got some money. So he gonna have that same energy for the street. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be just as dope, but it's gonna be just as dope as about the Icy Rock.
Yeah, G was the same thing, man. Biggie did the same thing. That nigga was talking about his struggle, you know what I'm saying, from his point of view and where he was at. You know what I'm saying? And when things began to change for him, you know what I'm saying, financially, he still was raw. He still was bringing it.
But what about
with that? About with that.
But I think there's other cats that start off like developing on their first joint, and then their second joint is way better. Like Common's first joint is like, alright, feeling this cat, he could develop, but the second joint is like, I like to see cats taking strides. Like West's first joint was like one thing, and that was ill, but then the second joint was like ill, like a whole. I like to see cats.
I'm not discouraging cats to buy homes and like, get money and all that, but always remember that they got to go back to where they came from.
But it ain't even that. You got, like, you go find cats making albums.
You don't got to
like,
stay in the PJ.
It's like you go find cats who's like,
your dog will get down,
trying to do.
Trust me, I know.
But it ain't even so much about the streets. It ain't even so much about the streets. It's about, I'm speaking, I'm communicating on this joint, and I said what I had to say on that joint, and now my life is the XYZ from that point. Now I got to spit this.
But it's still real. You must maintain the reality.
It's like trying to push the envelope of what you got to offer of yourself to people. You got a lot of cats that come out with their first joint and trying to recreate the magic on that joint. It's like children. Your first child and your second child is two different children. They got traits that's similar, but they different children. If you have a third child, that third child is going to be completely different.
But they can also get treated differently. You understand?
True indeed. You should treat them all with love. Like any album, to me, albums is like children. You manifested something, you born in something. You got to treat it with a degree of love. You got to cultivate it and protect it because it's under siege. Bullshit industry people, niggas from around your way trying to get in your head. And you got to protect your child from all of these outside forces. But the bottom line is like, this child is a different child, so I need to deal with this child on its terms with the same amount of love. You can't be trying to recapture the magic from your first baby, because your first baby is your first. That's it. You know
your first piece of pussy.
It's like you said.
It's the first.
It's the first.
It's the best.
Everybody thinks about things. I'm thinking the opposite way. Same things. You think about it the opposite way. You know what I'm saying?
But it's still the same.
Still the same.
ShadeRadio.com. ShadeRadio.com. This is ShadeRadio.com. ShadeRadio.com.
Yo, DJ, give me some more hot shit.
DMC stands for Disco Mix Club. It was a house music competition, and then DJ Cheese from Plainfield, New Jersey, who's the '86 world champion for DMC, when he entered that year, he introduced scratching into it and changed the whole battle, and they went along with it and let it be a hip-hop battle.
Let me just talk to me about LL, that whole situation for a minute. I ain't say something. No doubt. Yeah, I see you look in my eye all day. You look in my eyes like, yo, should I ask him now? Should I ask him later? Should I let him eat a French fry? Should I let him? What you want to do?
Everybody talking about.
Everybody talking about that?
Oh my God, talk me. What's going on?
All right. Before I even like get into that, like the day I came in to do that record, you know what I mean? X came in. You know what I'm saying? X came in. And ask X. What, you know what I'm saying? Just ask X what the vibe was when he came into the store. I ain't even trying to blow him up so you can talk about the situation, you know what I mean? Because that's not my style. I'll fight my own battles.
I'll talk to you about that on that.
Straight up and down. But definitely though, ask the nigga what the vibe was when we came in the store. You know what I'm saying?
I came in the joint, right? This the only nigga I seen in there with a pad in his hand. That's hunger. Determination. That's I want this. I'm gonna do something to this. Not, oh, I'm comfortable with it. This is another joint and, you know, I'm gonna just lay something and let it go. I'm here, I'm working. You know what I mean? And that says something. It's up to you to figure out what it says.
You know what I'm saying? And the bottom line is like all these MCs at the table, you know, I respect all of these niggas, you know what I'm saying? And straight up and down, when it goes back early to what I was talking about with competition and intimidation, you know what I'm saying? Like when we all get in the mic booth, man, it's understood that you know what I'm saying, like we got 16 bars each, or we got 32 bars each, or niggas are saying, yo, fuck it, you go, I go, we split it up. That shit is understood. It's understood that you an MC, you a master of your craft, you know what I'm saying? You an MC, you a master of your craft. I'm an MC, I feel like I'm a master of my craft, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do to shine. You gotta do what you gotta do to shine. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like a gauntlet, two niggas getting together. When you put it together and it's...
Another thing, yo, if you want some shit where you took out another nigga that was there before you, to you know what I'm saying, to step up a little higher than what you was, then don't expect not to get bit. Because you're going out the same way you came up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you took this nigga out, the way that nigga that you took out took somebody else out before him, then, you know, when you get that certain point, you're gonna get taken out. And let it go.
You live by the metaphor,
let it go.
You die by the metaphor.
Let it go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, can I make a personal statement about that whole LL thing, just as a observer of the whole rap shit? Put the Mos Def hat down for me. I did not appreciate that shit at all. It was, I didn't, and I'ma say it, because I don't even know what no, I didn't appreciate L going all that length to say that. I didn't think
wouldn't mind if you left the verse. I wouldn't mind at all.
Right.
Is that true? You
cut half your verse? Is that true?
What happened?
Just spit it, man. Just spit it, because it's like, it's just bubbling.
Straight up and down, what happened? What happened is, like, originally, when I first met the nigga formally, you know what I'm saying, on some give a pound, yo, what up, what's the deal, whatever. It was about a month before we did the 4321 record, you know what I'm saying? My man took me up there to meet him, Esco was there, Busta Rhymes was there, I kicked it with them niggas, and niggas like, yo, I like your shit, I like how you doing. L was also in the studio at the time, it was the Hit Factory, you know what I'm saying? The nigga came in the room, yo, Canibus, you doing your shit, I like what you doing. To hear that nigga say that to me, like, regardless of what niggas want to say, yo, L, he ain't saying nothing no more. It mean a lot, man, because he been in the game, you know what I'm saying, and it means something. So the nigga said to me, yo, that was like straight up pat on the back, yo, you doing your thing, whatever. I said to the nigga, because this is how I am. Come on, L, man, you've been doing this for a decade, man. Just go ahead with that, like, you know what I mean? He said, nah, I'm trying to get back to what you doing, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it, though, I'm trying to do what you doing. I'm trying to be in the game for a decade. He telling me, yo, I'm trying to get back to the way you doing it, right? So he said that to me, that shit hit me like, the nigga want what I got, you know what I'm saying?
You're doing the right thing now.
You can't say like, you want what I got, you know what I'm saying? I work hard for this, you know what I'm saying? I get on Blend Taste, I do what I do on Blend Taste, all my struggle with trying to get on with the demo taste, all of that, I've done, you know what I'm saying? I went through the hardship that he went through to get where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? That nigga look at me, he look at me, I'm that nigga at 17, you know what I'm saying? When he was 17, when it, you know what I'm saying, all on stage with the Chuck Jewelry bugging, you know what I'm saying? So when he said that, it was real, it was a pat on the back, but it was all real, you know what I'm saying? And Cheeks, that's my man from Lost Boys, you know what I'm saying? We was like, a month before that, we was like out in North Carolina, we did a show or something, right? And Cheeks was talking about tattoos and shit. So, you know, nigga showed me his shit, whatever, and I ain't had no tattoo. And I was like, yo, man, you know, we was talking about tattoos. He said, yo, you know whose tattoo was hot? L's tattoo. So niggas like, he got a mic on his arm? So everybody was bugging like, yeah, the nigga got a mic on his arm, right? So we said, oh shit. So when I seen the nigga was all around the studio brandishing, you know, mic all out, all of that. So it was just me and that nigga in the room. It was the side booth, not the sound booth, not the engineer booth, but the side booth. And I said to the nigga, I said, yo, I don't even get tattoos and shit. If I got one, I get some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. I said, yo, you don't mind if I got some shit like that? Like, not even like just like it, but just some shit that was hot, just shit like that. The nigga said, nah, I wouldn't mind. You know what I'm saying? And I said to him, yo, L, this is verbatim. I said, yo, L, I'm just talking to you. It's just me and you in here. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. If you don't want me to get some shit like that, I wouldn't even do that. You know, that ain't my style. I ain't no reason to bite a nigga, but yo, for real. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, come on, nigga. Yo, if you represent this shit, you can get it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? So from there, the nigga went immediately into, yo, I'm doing this record. I want you to do these ad-libs with Busta on this record that I did. But that night, the record was Another Day, Another Dollar. If you listen to the album, you hear me on the ad-libs there with saying Another Day, LL Cool J Generate, like on the ad-libs, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to get busy, but when I was in the booth, I knew that, yo, if I do it now, you know what I'm saying, like I look like I'm trying to tank, you know what I'm saying, and I really just want to, you know what I'm saying, I really just want to be around to see, you know what I'm saying, feel it out. I dropped my ad-libs, pound the nigga up, Esco, Busta, greetings, kept it moving, right? A month and a half later, I get a phone call, late, I'm in the lab. Yo, we want you to be on this 1421 record, you know what I'm saying? It was his management, you know what I'm saying, the ladies, right? It was Dave, actually. So the nigga sent me a car, you know what I'm saying? I grabbed all my, you know what I'm saying, my books and shit, tried to take the hype and shit from whatever. I went to volume A, he said, nah, fuck it, let me go to volume C, cause yo, regardless of what niggas wanna talk about, we MCs, we trying to do our thing, man. So when you see a nigga like me flustered, I'm flustered, and I ain't gonna lie to nobody and tell nobody I ain't flustered. I'm trying to shine, I'm trying to tear a mud hole in everybody's ass on the record. You know what I'm saying? That's just bottom line. So, get on my books, hop in the car, go down there, right? Went up there, you know what I'm saying? At the time when I got there, nobody was there. It was just the lady was there, you know what I'm saying? A couple other people was there. Reggie laid his verse already. The order of the song was different. Reggie laid his verse first, then it was Meth, you know what I'm saying? And then it was a slot for me, then it was X, and then L, right? So, niggas let me hear the track. The first TM joint was terrible. You know what I'm saying? The first track was terrible. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's L's record. It's like Outside Your Part 2. Niggas is like, yo, it's hot. Yeah. That shit is hot. All I want to do is drop my verse. I don't give a fuck now what niggas is doing. I'm just trying to drop my verse. You know what I mean? So put it on there. Right. So X came through. The nigga came through. I guess he already had his shit. You know what I'm saying? Cooked up.
So I heard it. I caught it.
Yeah. He went in the booth. He went in the booth. He did his shit. I'm still there. Line 1, okay, let me sew this here. Line 2, let me put this here. So, make a long story short, I did the record, you know what I'm saying? I dropped my verse. I came in after Method, before X, in my middle slot, and my rhyme was, and I'm gonna give it to Flex, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be like, other niggas gonna hear it anyway, but like the rhyme that I said was, I said, yo, Method Man, where the guards at? Yo, Red Man, where the squad at? Yo, L, is that a mic on your arm? Let me bar that. That's what I said, and then I went into the rest of my verse. The verse that you hear, it's just the beginning. It's like a 4-bar, you know what I'm saying, like a 4-bar, you know what I'm saying, rhyme. It was changed, you know what I'm saying? Now, when I said that as a term of endearment, you know what I'm saying? And everybody in the stool was like, yo, the nigga, yo, this shit is hot. Niggas felt it, you know what I'm saying? Plus the regular verse, you know what I'm saying? It was that plus the regular verse. And niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, his management, all of the niggas told me this shit was hot. Everybody in this stool, nobody, because it was a term of endearment. Plus, I had the conversation with the nigga prior to all of that, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't feel funny style about it, you know what I'm saying? So I left the studio. 2 days later, I get a page. I'm on the Brick City. I'm out in Jersey. I got a page like 11:30. You know what I'm saying? Hit Factory. So I call the number back, and it was L. He's like, yo, B, I feel like you tried to play me. You know what I'm saying? So here it is. This is the moment of truth, right? I could have said, yeah, I'm trying to play you, motherfucker. What? You know what I'm saying? But of course, I was like, yo, L, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? What you talking about? How you figure? Yo, I just felt like you tried to play me. This is verbatim, yo. Word to mother, I got this shit locked in a floppy up here. It's like, yo, word to mother, I felt like you tried to play me. I say, yo, L, you talking about the verse? He said, yeah, man, you know the shit about the mic and all that? I said, yo, L, I had to talk with you about this before all of that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, and plus I'm on your record, and yes, I'm an arrogant nigga, and I get busy when it's time to get busy, but I'm not stupid. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get on another nigga's record. That's his record. Now, on the other hand, it's my record. You know what I'm saying? And I can manipulate the record the way I wanted to manipulate it. I mean, of course, I would, if I did something like that, it would be a smart move. But for me to try and play the nigga on his own record when he can manipulate it, not put me in the video, not play it, you know what I'm saying, edit the shit, why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, man. So, I say, yo, L, straight up and down, yo, if you feel that way, I said, I ain't mean it that way, but if you feel that way, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go back in the studio, I'm gonna change my shit. And the nigga say, yo, Canibus, you change your shit, I'm gonna change my shit. So I said, change your shit? Why would you want to change your shit? And he was like, yo, you know how it is, like I was kind of going at you. So my laugh was a nervous laugh, the type of laugh, like if I'm outside on the street, niggas say, yo, I'm gonna bust your shit, money. Like, the fuck you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like a nervous laugh. Like I going at me, what you mean you was going at me? Yo, you know how it is when niggas get into battle mode, they just what? I said, yeah, I know how that is, but yo, I'm gonna come back in and change my shit, yo. So, here I am, you know what I'm saying, knowing that, you know what I'm saying, I know that the public didn't hear it yet, and you know what I'm saying, I didn't mean the shit like that, so I wasn't trying to take it somewhere where I didn't mean to take it that way, you know what I'm saying, so I said I'll come down and change my shit. I hopped the train, it's 11:15, I got there 12:15, you know what I'm saying, Lighty, Buster, niggas was outside, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, like, niggas said things to me, you know what I'm saying, in terms of like, yo, Canibus, this shit is high, I don't know why the nigga bugging. I ain't gonna say no names, I ain't gonna say what exactly niggas said, cause, you know what I'm saying, them niggas got their pot of gold, and they can say really about L whatever they wanna say, you know what I'm saying, they got their pot of gold. I'm coming up in the game.
Ho. That's where I wanna stop you, man. Fuck pots of gold, yo, I'm a grown man. We men. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gotta have a pot of gold to say shit. You know what I'm saying?
In a way, if you want to get a pot of gold.
We professionals.
If you want to get the pot of gold,
we professionals, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to let the next man shine.
Let him finish.
But that's, you know, that's what
I'm going to let you finish what you're saying. It's not even that at all. It's just that, come on, man, I'm outside the parking lot. What the fuck I'm going to do? Wild out? Yo.
No, I'm not saying that, but it's like, you don't have to be established. I had to sell X amount of records to have a fucking opinion. Or have feelings about some shit.
To know whether or not it's wise enough to voice your opinion.
No, I'm not.
Sometimes,
I mean, he said silent.
Sometimes.
He said
that would have been harder for
sometimes, though. You must be quiet and, you know, ride with it. Sometimes.
You ain't bringing all them people in here. No, they're involved in something. Someone's chasing them. They got weapons. And look, that one's bleeding. And that woman, I don't even know that woman. I'm not getting myself involved in a situation I don't need to be in.
It's my house, Dimples. Come.
To all y'all anonymous biters, respect the technique.
Clean with a fiend, the P-H-E-N-E. I rock sets, let your brothers know nobody will rock next but the beatbox on my left of me. Coming through shades of hip-hop, perfection you see every time. So pick up the tape inside the stores I come through. Hardcore metaphors for you and your clique.
You already had the conversation with dude. You know what I'm saying?
No, but you gotta understand, yo,
So pick it up where you are.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, so bust it, right? So the nigga was like I said, niggas said things to me or whatever, so I didn't say a word, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here like, actually niggas is complimenting me, cause niggas is saying things to me like, yo, you took the niggas hard. You took the niggas hard, niggas scared, you that nigga 17, so actually I'm like, word, niggas feel like that, you know what I'm saying? And something inside is telling me, yo, yeah, but then something inside is saying, yo, you know what, man, just go in there and change up on your verse before you start, like, you know what I'm saying, World War III, you know what I'm saying, because I'm ready to go to World War III, but you know what I'm saying, like I told you, man, it wasn't about that initially.
And the new version sound like you're still bringing it to him.
So I went in there, I mean, it sound like that, you know why? Because on every record I'm on, I'm bringing it to
That's
you.
what I
saying, that's why I told Joe.
No half-step
It don't even matter. So I went upstairs.
That's what I said.
I'm saying, change my shit, change my whole shit. Like I just changed that, you know what I'm saying, that line or whatever. And yo, you know, to this day, like I look back on it and I figured, damn, I should have like if I could rewind time, I would have done something a little bit different. Because what I didn't do is I did not listen to that nigga's verse.
Yeah, that would have been.
You know why? You know why? I was fucking like. I won't say that I'm overconfident and conceited or anything like that, but I know, man, if a nigga is gonna do something like that to me on a record. Common sense is gonna tell a nigga after all of the shit that I've done already and after what I've been on, you're not gonna do that to me and just run away, you know what I'm saying, and there's no rebuttal, there's nothing going on. You obviously know, yo, you do that shit right there, you lit the fuse, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I really didn't think that I was gonna listen to that record and hear what I heard like a month later on a Clue tape. I didn't think about that, you know what I'm saying? So I did my verse, you know what I'm saying, put it down, changed it, and kept it moving. I was like, all right, yo, let me get a copy of that, and I was out. You understand what I'm saying? Then a month later, heard it on the Clue, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying, was shocked in a way like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like
he took it to you and you didn't know that.
He took it to me, that he left his verse even though I changed mine, even though he told me, you come down here and change your shit, I'm gonna change my shit. You understand what I'm saying? So I felt like, yo, straight up and down, you wanna come get me, you know what I'm saying? You want Canibus, give me a fair one. You know what I'm saying? Give me a fair one. Like if a nigga wanted to battle me on a record, right? Because I've done this a million times on the street corner. So it's not new to me, you know what I'm saying? But if a nigga wanna come get me on a record, you know what I'm saying? How many bars, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? We could just rhyme to fucking voice boxes, you know, shatter.
Fucking cough and
you run out of oil. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. But straight up and down, the nigga, yo, when I heard this shit, I was like, yo, if that nigga wanted a fair one, we could have done a fair one on the record. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel like, yo, Canibus, yo, you just too nice, I can't fuck with you on the mic. Yo, you know what? We gonna settle this. Let's race across the English Channel. I swim across the English Channel with the nigga to race. You know what I'm saying? If the nigga wanna race from stoplight to stoplight, let's do it. But let's do it in a situation where you're giving me a fair one, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right now, what would you say?
What?
Walked in right now, what would you say?
I ain't got no words for that nigga, you know what I'm saying? In particular, I don't have no words for that nigga, man. It's no,
huh? So you know if there's drama, ain't no words. It's strictly action, there's no words.
No words. And then the wild shit about it is, after that, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not even getting in on this side or this side, but you know when there's beef, there's no words. That's common sense.
Is there beef?
I mean, yo.
What's beef for you? What's beef for you? No, where I come from, I'll tell you what beef is. What's beef for you? Beef for me, what's beef?
There's no prelude. Hold on. How do beef start? It's fight and war.
It starts. Once there's beef.
Yo, did you hear the record? Did you listen to the record?
You know what? There's no time.
Mos Def. It's over. This nigga, the minute he stepped in the studio, because he knew this was this nigga put money in.
I want to know whether you ever had different beef. Beef on some shit. If a nigga diss me in a song, I ain't dissing him the song. I'm gonna write a song about how I whipped your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't make a song until I whip a nigga ass. That's my word. Everybody knows Big Pun.
I love this shit, dog. I love it.
That's what not saying.
Punish him.
Not saying how he should go like that with LL, because L is my man too. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying me, you know, me. Beef is just. You would have been talking about like your pun, you know, when you killed that nigga, when you did this. You regret it now, you know what I'm saying? I would have been like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's what I said. Is there beef? Then I would ask him like, what kind of beef? That's why I said he's
define the beef.
You know, you could be like some old beef on some old. I want to battle a nigga now, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to fight a nigga now like that, you know what I'm saying? That's why I actually kind of beef.
But see, there's a fine line between that shit, because like you said, it's like you said, you know a nigga ain't gonna spit some shit like that on the joint and it's just a dead issue. You know what I'm saying? Niggas got emotions.
But see, niggas is eating off a different plates right now.
Niggas eating off a different plates. And
you know what? If you're eating fettuccine every day, you alright. But if you're eating
canned food, like a Brooklyn
ketchup sandwiches,
like in a Brooklyn,
you know what I'm saying? Then you fucking hungry and you're gonna eat what you can eat.
Like in the Brooklyn and Bronx and the boroughs and that, niggas know cannabis from the child. Niggas.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But in the world, they know LL is like Canibus. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't pay him. That's why it'd be hard for him. He would have just bust up because they're busting because there's so much fan base as him.
No, but
hurt him.
See,
so,
okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, it's always.
That's why you said positive. And whatnot, like, certain niggas who can't go like that. You can't go and hammer like that, you whack, but you don't want to go and hammer like that.
It's like the
Because you
David
shut your label down.
Goliath was the chiefest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you talking about like, yo, what's
You know
that, the
what I'm saying?
1300s, the 1200s?
No, but
yo,
the
this
same,
is
the principle.
97, God.
The principle.
Yo, word them over. Principle. Let me finish, Mos Def.
We gotta finish in a minute.
5 minutes. Can we
What do you want to know, man?
Can we do what we gotta do?
Yo, let's do the 16. One more question. We've been rhyming for what, 15 years now, 20 years now? Has everything been said?
No.
Has everything been said?
It couldn't possibly be said in this short time.
I wouldn't be making
See what we got left. Let's do this.
All right, let's do that. Who's doing a beatbox?
No beatbox. We want lyrics.
We put it together with Shades Radio, Temple of Hip Hop, Stop the Violence Movement. Yes. You know, in hip hop we deal with progression.
From graffiti to breakdancing to rapping to human beatboxing to baggy jeans, these words describe what has become hip-hop culture. Critics thought it wouldn't last. That was a big mistake. Today, hip-hop is a multi-billion-dollar industry, selling everything hip-hop, from apparel to cell phones, even to video games.
What up, man? This is Mortal Technique. Shades.
Yeah.
This is how we do shadesradio.com.
Welcome to Hip Hop Culture, where DJing, MCing, graffiti art, breaking, and the philosophies are expressed every day within the inner cities of America and the world. You are not doing hip hop, you are hip hop. Love yourself and your expression. You can't go wrong.
Don't be greedy.
Lyrically handsome, gonna collect the king's ransom. Gems are right, soon become the ghetto anthem. Way out like Bruce Wayne's mansion, move like a phantom. You talk about me to your grandsons. Cats who claiming they hard be mad facts, so I'll run through them like flood water through sandbags. Competition is mad, what I got they can't have. Sick of they ship like Moby Dick did Ahab. Send them way past the minimum. Interim millennium, a raps to hold a gap to your back like Palestinians. Ancient Abyssinian, strong like Hornet Gideon, official b-boy gentleman, long term never the interim. Born inside the winter wind. They after December 10, these simpletons they mention in the synonym for feminine. Sweeter than some cinnamon, the Danish streets for intimate. Rush up on adrenaline and get their asses sent to them. Gentlemen, you got a tenement more than a symbol it. Leave your unit trembling like herds of moving elephant. Intelligent embellishment. Follow for your element from flatbush settlement. Skin possesses melanin, hotter than tails of crack pedaling, making them whoop like blue gelatin. Swing like Duke Ellington, broader than Barrington Levy. Believe me, the hot Apache Red who burned down your chief teepee. You see me?
Alright. Respect.
Yes. Yo, straight up and down. Yo, I don't want to play niggas or nothing like that. I'm definitely not trying to play niggas.
Do your thing, man.
Let me finish, dog. I'm not trying to play niggas. But yo, I deserve the right to anchor, yo. You know what I mean?
He came first.
I deserve the right to anchor, yo.
Okay.
Word up, man.
Okay, so, alright, I'm gonna smoke
little bastard. Fuck that. This is how we What niggas is talking about?
Ask me how
you took today? I'm asking her to go to second to last.
Alright. Yo, niggas don't know, so I gotta flip. See if they forgotten how dark it can get when I ball, my hit. Scratch like a pit. You both know you puss, but you stay talking shit. What I'm gonna have to do, dog? Run up in your vest? Catch you while you're comfortable, put one up in your vest? One up in your chest? Of course, they're the hollow. You're going away today, just lost tomorrow. I'm gonna go platinum. You got to be kidding, nah. I'm gonna go platinum. No bullshit. And I'ma stay flipping flows, ripping shows, stripping hoes, getting dough, letting go. And niggas know who the best is. The dog, DMX is. The best is, might as well be helpless. I'm reckless, cause when I wreck shit, I might snatch a nigga's necklace and then go from like midnight to breakfast.
Yo.
My alma mater is my rooftop. Back in 85 with summer cookouts, the crack lookouts, mega hookers with pocket books out. The corners where we hung out. My uncle that was strung out. Beef during the drought and all the guns that we brung out. Niggas hustle for clout. Brownsville Street title bouts, blackouts, ultra looting, door-to-door army recruiting. Drug lords continue shooting in winters and cold Novembers leaving red snow when niggas bled so. For spot control, gold chains with diamond links. Mixed product in kitchen sinks, think tanks, mattress banks, stuck up bitches acting stink. Gunplay without provisions, 1 on 20 type collisions. Weed spots getting took when pool 9 run the jokes. Crooked beast crooks be lurking hurting to catch a body working. To see they perch when it's a nigga head they bursting. First and last, I like your block and smack that ass. Cum laude, streetwise, slide fast.
Yes. It's nothing but the drama, dog. It's nothing but it.
Alright. The fascination with the short of word, turn to art of war. Put a little more into it, try to blow the floor. See, despite the way you thinking I've been made to endure. I floor the rap like a lotus or in black V8, skating straightaways, moving out of buckets some change. Paralyzed while I hit you like Colombian cane. And I'm so in the kill it words they couldn't explain. Spark flames so it burn slow. Feeling me every bit as much as the Dutch. Loaded with ransom, my thumbs crushed. My elevation from the lands where the guns bust. And to myself and the law only might trust. Mic like a coke rush, finger on the pulse of the street. Moving through this life with speed, try to square the next generation here to eat. Besides that, do you got me feeling the beats like this? Freestyle off of the cap with my nigga Big Pun, cause he bust mad raps. That's DMX, we rock this shit, no doubt. With my nigga Canibus, let me show you how. Now we get down to the specifics, the Heineken. I'll be grabbing up the microphone and rhyme again, no time again. Lost off the brain and such, people around my way tell me that I smoke too much. While I'm rolling in the Dutch, just the thing I do while I'm chilling with my niggas from the QU, the Zoo niggas. Rah, we like gorillas and such, while we ripping you the crew cause we just too much. Freestyle off the top of my brain, I maintain showing no motherfucking stress in the game. And still I wouldn't break a flow, fast, medium, or slow. Geronimo, I get the dough, nigga. Blood.
Hold me down, dog. Hold me down. Hold me down. Hold me down, dog. Hold me down.
Yo, check it out. Bring me one, tell us why. Yo. And yo, I shatter dreams like Jordan, assault and battle your team. Your squadron will be barred from rap like Adam and Eve from the garden. I'm carving my initials on your forehead, so every night before bed you see the BP shot off the board head. Curse at the first whack, nigga with the worst rap, cause he ain't worth jack. Hit him with 1,000 pounds of pressure per slap. Make his whole body jerk back, watch the earth crack, hand him his first back. I'm the first Latin rapper to back for your skull, master the flow. Niggas be swearing I'm black and cold like Matt King. I be rapping the tongues, packing the ones, magnums, cannons, and Gatling guns. It's Big Pun, the one and only son of Tony Montana. You ain't promised mañana in the rotten Montana. Come on, Montana, we need more rhymes. Feeling around and want a snake bite, anaconda. A man of honor would want to try to match my persona. Sometimes rhyming, I blow my own mind like Nirvana. Comma, I want a whole line like Madonna. Don't try to find another rhymer with my kind of grammar. I'm pure adrenaline, uncut, straight to the gut medicine. Raw cure for pain, I coat your brain like polyurethane. Simple to play. I'll explain it in layman terms. If you came to learn how to make fire, I'ma make it burn higher and hotter than lava. The scholar, advisor, as smart as MacGyver could put on him inside the heart of a liar involved in a life of crime. Fuck it, I like to shine up in the white and lime. Clutch with the pipe design, flushed out. Both pockets about to bust out. If you light it for the spinach, get the fuck out. Take a hike. We could even battle to make it right. Your head, lace the mic to finish. Say goodnight, head to head in the street. I'll leave you dead in your feet, settling beef. I'll even let you rhyme to the Benjamin beat, but it won't matter. Your dream's still going shatter. It's a long ladder to climb. Mine is known as stagger, so get out of town. Before I hit you with the loudest sound you ever heard. There's a bird playing you out of bounds. You can ramble out the mouth like you ramble, but you slouch. If we battled, you be out without a shadow of a doubt, and that's the ugly truth. Killers walk with muddy boots. Once my dogs cut me loose, that's a bullet in your bubbly goose. Fuck is you talking like you crazy, barking like you weighty, I'll have you crawling, walking like a baby. Don't try to play me because I'm not a player. And yo, I shot the place up.
He's gonna give him his purse back.
Yo.
You wanted that ankle bad, huh?
You got it over here, man. You got it right here, dog.
Bless me with the house.
Please, sir. And I want to say, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah. I sampled that.
Hold up. Yo, let the world know the truth. You don't want me to shine. You studied my rhyme, then you laid your vocals after mine. That's a bitch move, something a homosexual rapper would do. So when you say that you platinum, you only dropping clues. I studied your background, read the book that you wrote, researched your footnotes about how you used to sniff coke, fronting like a drug-free role model. You disgust me. I know bitches that seen you smoke weed recently. You walk around showing off your body cause it sells, plus to avoid the fact that you ain't got skills. Mad at me cause I kick that shit real niggas feel, while 99% of your fans wear high heels. From Ice-T to Kumo D to Jay-Z, now you wanna fuck with me, nigga, you crazy? You dripping with whack juice, and you can't get it off. You better be prepared to finish what you start, and give me the respect that I deserve, or I'ma take it by force. Blast you with the 45 code, make you somersault, shock you with a couple 100,000-volt thunderbolts. Before you wanted a war, now you wanna talk. It's about who strikes the hardest, not who strikes first. That's why I laugh when I hear that whack-ass verse. That shit was the worst rhyme I ever heard in my life, cause the greatest rapper of all time died on March 9th. God bless his soul, rest in peace, kid. It's because of him, now at least I know what beef is. It's not what I would call this. See, this is something different. A faggot nigga trying to make a living off of dissing. Somebody that he gotta know is better than him, but he feeling himself cause he got more cheddar than him. Well, let me tell you something. You might got more cash than me, but you ain't got the skills to eat a nigga's ass like me. And if you really wanna get it on, then we can get it on. Live in front of the cameras on your own sitcom. I'll let you kick a verse. Fuck it, I'll let you kick them all. I'll even wait for the studio audience to applaud. Clap, clap. Now watch me rip the tap from your arm. Stick you in the groin, kick you in your Vanguard Award. Snatch your Vanguard Award in front of your mom, your first, second, and third born. Make your wife get on the horn, call Minister Farrakhan. Hold up. Make your wife get on the horn, call Minister Farrakhan so he could persuade me to squash it. I say, nah, he started it. He forgot what a hardcore artist is. A hardcore artist is a dangerous man, such as myself, trained to run 20 miles of soft sand, on or off land. Programmed to kick hundreds of bars offhand from a lost and forgotten land. You done did it, man. You done spit it, some whack shit it, and probably thought that because it's been a minute, I forget it. Fuck that. Cause like Common and Cube, I see the bitch in you, and I'ma make the world see it too.
I really appreciate it.
DMX, John Forte, Big Punisher right here, Shaking Hip Hop. 9-8, Planet of Queens, nigga. Whoa.
Yo, D.
What up? Let me talk to you for a second. Alright? Nah, I'm talking. Nah, look, peace, God. Alright?
Yo, no doubt, man.
Man, I turn this shit off. Canibus and the Punisher, the ultimate executioner's dream, swinging the guillotine. It's whenever the head is severed from the human body with a sharp enough weapon, the brain remains conscious for 10 seconds. Long enough for me to give you one last message, and when you get to hell, you can tell Lucifer I said it. Don't ever get it confused. Fucking with Canibus, the human Rubik's Cube, like you got something to prove. Yo, whoever grabs the mic after me and get booed. Get everything in the club thrown at you and your crew. From Moet bottles to bar stools, fruits and foods. You got an album out, you get hit with your CD too. Running outside, lying, crying, denying that you ain't the gay rapper, but you got fuck buying. What's the difference? Y'all niggas still ain't in lyrical fitness, too busy mixing your business with your bitches. While I be in the lab composing forbidden scriptures. So wicked I got Satan ejaculating all over his fingers like Dirk Diggler in the middle of boogie nights. Sniffing white, living the hype. He ruined his life, but I'm an MC of a different type. Yeah, that's right. So make sure your grip is tight, or I'ma snatch your mic. Word up. Like that.
Yo, big fun of the Cypher Squad, man, Canibus, you know what I'm saying? Shades of hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Keep it real.
Sure D, blacking out with my big man right here, Mr. Punisher, and Canibus, the lyrical analyst. Get on the phone, call the ambulance, tell them how damaged this, you know what I'm saying? Right here with Shades of hip hop.
That shit is fly. You need to use that.
Drop to the tip top, you know what I'm saying? Shades of hip hop. Word up. Shades of hip hop, you know what I'm saying?
I'm Forte.
Word up.
Speaking of which, I keep my name on your brain like Missy and the rain. I'm from the school of stolen sneakers, speakers and heavy chains, no lie. To the nolly, why? God see I learned the ways of the street, degrees in poli-sci, many days under heat, pays for sticking them, watching beats on the lean, routine, curriculum, black bands, maybe your trans exams get done, pop quiz, figure out them niggas who hit son, God give, God take away, and it's easy to see, spell till, the Lord kill indiscriminately, we infinitely, to sell, keep my fans compelled, the bigger picture, watch the ones who with you, I clean the pie, and seen them die, travel life more than once, maybe, me and I, had to read it by, so many conceited eyes, had to be wise, when I met too many girls around the world and delete the lies. Holly Side, 1998, John Forte, Shades of Hip Hop, and I love all y'all. Buy this record and if you bootleg it, all get killed like this! See him somewhere out.
Many different hip-hop shades to crave, flavor to the grave over tracks that we blaze. Many different hip-hop shades to crave, flavor to the grave over tracks that we blaze.
No lights, just cameras, action, women to smoke. Sign artist freestyle, plus them niggas just broke. Best of both worlds, underground to the top. Interviews with crews, still honeys by the fly. We blaze the thick blocks for shades of hip-hop. To them niggas that bit, keep your eyes off our dick. Can catch the milk spit and watch the guilt trip. While you stressing, I'm landing some silk shit. Via satellite, global raps attack. Visual tracks, putting shades on the map. Stat for 9-9, Malgar, fade to black.
Fade to black, fade to black, yeah. Many different hip-hop shades to crave, flavor to the grave over tracks that we blaze. Many different hip-hop shades to crave, flavor to the grave over tracks that we blaze. My shit it drop like rain with every shade of hip-hop. Spit your love if it's hot and fuck it if it's not. I make niggas see pictures say I can't figure me. Tell my future through my history, vividly breathe divinity lyrically. Scholars in the game consider me a star falling on this industry. Y'all gon' remember me, my law is prepared for war. And be sure how I walk surround niggas like the walls of a mall. And you gon' see half the picture after I chew fat with you. I grab pistols like pins dealing with rap issues. My words is like caps if they hit you. If niggas wanna take it there, y'all keep the idea. I make it physical. The game got my brain fucked up from all the changes. I used to want big wheels, now it's Pizzies and Rangers. Fans camcorder my life to blow it up and frame it. Shades of hip hop can make a nigga famous. Many different hip hop shades to crave, flavor to the grave over tracks that we blaze. Many different hip hop shades to crave, flavors to the grave over tracks that we blaze.
Yeah.